Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're looking at running for president again.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red cake.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will not become president.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president.
Moderator, but apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at...
We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination.
So, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Donald Trump, while we project, will win in Kentucky with its 8th electoral vote, in Indiana with its 11th electoral vote, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio, Idaho, North Carolina.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Together, we will make America great again.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of the 199. Happy to see all of you here today on a Monday. I am back and ready to rock and roll. So I hope you're all doing well today. Bennett says, how was Israel? Yes, I'm back from my trip to Israel. I visited whatever that fucking rock is that they all take pictures of. And, Ben Shapiro gave me his yarmulke. And we talked about how Trump is racist, but that we're still supporting him. So it was good. It was good all the way around. So thank you to Netflix Yahoo for funding my entire trip. And to, everyone else that supported it. I really do appreciate it. It was awesome. Isn't that what those things are called? Fucking yarmulke. Isn't that it? Did I kiss the wall? No. But, I pretended that I did just so I could get the money. You know what I mean? Because you have to pretend. Like, I kind of fake kissed it, because I didn't make contact, but it looked like I did. And so I got the money, so it's a win-win, you know what I mean? So, anyway, thank you guys so much. I got to thinking about this. I was in Florida the whole time. I literally, if I ever was told that I could never leave the state of Florida for the rest of my life, I would be completely happy. I would be completely happy with just never leaving the state of Florida. That would make me, that would probably be a blessing more than anything. They're like, you could never leave the state of Florida. And I'm like, so that means I don't have to go to a blue state? Okay, fine with me. I'll just stay in Florida for the rest of my life. We got Babo Yogi says, I don't understand why everyone thinks Jeremy is homosexual. He's obviously a lesbian, has a kid, bald, never acknowledges a wife, and black from the waist down. He's Cynthia Erivo. Mod lives matter. And Babo Yogi dropped 10 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Thank you, Babo Yogi. Appreciate that. Sam Sung. I haven't got the clip yet, Sam Sung, but holy crap. 50 gifted memberships. Freaking between Babo Yogi and Sam Sung, that's already 60 gifted memberships, and we haven't even got started on the show. Thank you, Sam Sung. By the way, someone sent me the clip of Sam Sung, the Trump comment, and it wasn't the right one. It's the first time that I believe he's mentioned Samsung, and he had like this pause in between Sam and Sung, and it made it sound like it was like a guy named Sam Sung. But that wasn't the clip. That wasn't the first clip that I'm looking for that I want to put on the clips here. So thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Ryan Miller, the mainstream liberal media are still having a meltdown over Trump going after Obama, over the Russia hoax and Kamala and the people she paid, and are desperately trying to sweep it under the rug. Yeah, I mean, like, so we're going to talk about all the stuff going on with like the EU, everything Trump's doing, the tariffs. Everybody's admitting that they were wrong about the tariffs. Trump is just across the board outside of the Epstein stuff, which is still a thorn in Trump's side, and he continues to not handle it well. But outside of that, Trump is crushing it in every single way. He's crushing it. He's just mishandling the Epstein stuff, and he's still doing it today. Although he did something that I often do and get in trouble for. He used sarcasm today, and no one seems to understand sarcasm. And so everybody's freaking out over what he said today. And I'm like, I mean, it's clearly sarcasm what he said, but yeah, everybody's running with it. And so we're going to talk about that for sure. We got Steel Leg of History for member messages. I can never thank you all enough for your support and kindness. I just hit 719 subscribers. Hell yes. A little bit ago, and I will be down in Florida. I want to visit Epic soon. Be blessed. Hell yeah, man. Well, Epic Universe is awesome. You'll have a great time in Florida. The worst thing about going to Florida right now, or going down to like Central Florida to like the theme parks, is it is just the heat is the heat and the humidity is just, it is brutal, man. It is brutal. And so it's tough right now. So I would just go to the beach. I wouldn't go to theme parks right now, but Epic Universe is awesome. So you will have fun. Little Jim's Halo for $50 says these UK and US globalists think they can censor what we see on the internet. They want full and total control of everything so their truth can become their reality. But you and everyone will keep calling out their bullshit. I'm fired up right now. Well, thank you, Little Jim's Halo. I appreciate that, first of all. Secondly, you're absolutely right about that. The amount of censorship that, and sometimes there's times that I'm still not completely fully understanding of how much things are censored in foreign countries. It is amazing how much things are censored in foreign countries and how much they limit their people from actually hearing the truth about things. And it's scary at times. It reminds me of like when you watch the beginning of Attack on Titan and their view of the world or the outside world, because they have no concept of it. And that's what it reminds me of. It's pretty scary. Let's see. Thank you for the 50. I appreciate that. TVZTQ says, here's your FIG stimulus check for the week. Hey, not bad at all. I appreciate that. Solid Felix says, where is the mainstream media and the anti-white hate violence? Oh yeah, they're not going to talk about the clear racial violence that happened When it's blacks targeting whites, they don't ever want to talk about that, do they? RCTCB says, did you see Tim Pool showed his bald head on that? I don't know how you say the guy's name. Matan? Is it Matan? Matan guy's podcast. That's the Bill Clinton kid, the guy that went to like was that the Game Awards? Or he's talking about Rabbi Bill Clinton or something like that. And yeah, so listen, man, like the obsession over Tim Pool's bald head is kind of crazy. It really is. I felt like Tim would do it in a different setting, though. The fact that Tim did it in that setting is weird. But yeah, the reaction to Tim Pool's bald head, and I guess, let me see if I can find that clip, has been crazy. People have been losing their minds over this whole thing. I mean, I know it's a meme and everything, but like people are really hooked on this shit, man. Here we go right here. All right. Right here it is. I can find it. Here we go. Okay. So here's the moment that Tim took off the beanie. Here we go.
I'll hold your beanie and he holds my money. Let's make it even.
Put the money on the table right there. No. Put it close. Put it close. Move it closer.
No, I'm not retarded.
Just put the money right there.
Take your hat off.
I will. Put the money right there.
Do you have to give me a verbal agreement?
I'll give you a verbal agreement. If you put the money in mine, I'll take my hat off.
Yeah?
Yep. Contract. Sworn. Pinky.
You're gonna take a different hat off. You're gonna tell me you didn't tell me when you took the hat off. I know this game. There's no way you're gonna do
I will take my hat off in this chair right now within 10 seconds if you put that money in my hand.
Wow. I can't believe that happened. Hold on. Can you leave it off?
For a little bit.
Okay, that's cool. I got like a special.
I'm greasy right now too, though.
You do actually have more hair than I thought you would.
Do I?
Can I have the Pepto-Bismol?
Why?
I have a sudden stomach ache. I'll hold your beanie and he holds my
So
money.
there you
Let's
go.
make it even.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So the internet freaked out and lost their mind over this. Tim Pool took off his hat, and there you have it. Yeah. People are like, Tim should just, shave his whole head or whatever. Like, I don't know. I mean, so eventually you will see my hair. It is fucking insane right now, but I have never let my hair grow out. Well, okay. Here's what I'll show you. If I I'll do this. I'm not going to show you my hair. What I'll show you is if I don't pull my hair back, then this is what I would look like. Okay. So hang on. All right. Watch this. I'm going to go off camera for a minute. Watch this. Okay. So now this is what happens right here. Okay. See that? Now you see why I pull my hair back, because it's fucking everywhere. So I have to like pull the hair back so it's hidden, so people still think that I'm bald. So there you have it right there. It's actually not as curly as it has been. The longer my hair gets, the straighter it's become. But I will be shaving my head again. The point I'm making is that with Tim, like, people are saying he should just shave his head, and I'm like, I don't know. I've literally used a number 2 or number 3 clipper my entire life. Just shave. I always keep my hair very, very short. But I'm letting it grow out as long as I possibly can. And then I will take my hat off, and then I'm shaving my fucking head again, because I can't deal with it. Like, I don't like it. I don't like my hair. I don't like dealing with it. It's gay. So Z-Herb says, hey, Jeremy, I'm so glad that you were almost there. I could see you are awake to the real issues. I was almost going to stop watching you because of this one opinion, which is 69% of my entire personality. Thank you. This is This is why I like trolling the anti-Israel crowd, because they're so tied to that one opinion. So thank you, Z Herb. I appreciate it, brother. Delona for 199. A proper 199 says, show us those luscious locks. Holy crap. I can't do it. I can't. Not for I look, somebody offered me $500 a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like, here's what's going to happen. If I show you my hair, I'm shaving my head tonight, because the only reason that I'm doing this is I'm working up towards something. All right. And so that's the only reason so it's like motivation for me. If I take my head off right now, I'm shaving my head tonight and I'm done with it. It's literally the only reason I'm keeping my hair growing out. So I've got to keep the motivation. Jeez. Sensitive Jeremy? No, not at all. Not at all. I actually want to cut my hair. I want it gone. Dude, being in the Florida humidity this week, spending time with the fam, and I was out, and of course I'm wearing my hat, because I always wear my hat, whether I'm on the internet or not. And dude, it was like, some people are saying I have the Toby Keith look going on right now. I don't want to make this whole fucking show about my hair, by the way, but some people are saying I got the Toby Keith look going on back here. Maybe that's the case, but we're not going to spend 2 hours on my hair, please. I appreciate a proper 199. I feel terrible now. I feel terrible. Damn it. I feel bad now. River Miles says, Jeremy with good genes. Thank you. Delona has made me feel bad now. Damn it. Now I've got to consider if I'm going to do it. That's a proper 199. Like, come on. 8 o'clock says, hey, Jeremy, just got into the course for my dream job, surgical tech. Let's go snake pit. Thank you, 8 o'clock. I appreciate it, bro. All right, I'll get to the rest of these here in just a minute, but we have to talk about some of the stuff going on right now in New York City. Pro-Palestine protesters are basically trying to take over the Trump Tower in Manhattan. Trump World Tower in Manhattan. What is Trump World Tower? I know about Trump Tower in New York, but I don't know about Trump World Tower. Is that the same one? Is that the one I've been to? But yeah, so they're trying to take it over. Okay, way too loud. Yeah, I see somebody said that they mentioned it in the first season of The Apprentice. So is Trump World Tower, is that the same as the Trump Tower that's in New York City? Or no, I've been to Trump Tower. I don't know what Trump World Tower is, though, unless it might be the same thing. Maybe it's a different entrance. I have no idea. What do these idiots think that they're going to accomplish, by the way? Like, what are these idiots trying to accomplish? Someone tell me. No better way to show that you should be taken seriously by acting like a complete fucking retard. I mean, this is. I'm just going to stop talking about it because I'm going to say words that are going to get me in trouble on YouTube, but it just pisses me off. It really does. Someone says, why not arrest them? That's a question I would have. I mean, this is the definition of disturbing the peace. They are disturbing the peace right now. Every single one of these people are disturbing the peace. They are disrupting a business. They're taking employees away from the job they're supposed to be doing. That is the definition of disturbing the peace. Miss. I really despise these fucking losers. Like, I really, really like this is, you're in America and you have the ability to do things like this because of America, yet you constantly hate America. Who are these people? What do they do for a living? How do they have the time to, like, how do they have the time to set up this massive demonstration? They don't, by the way, okay? Like, I have by internet standards, I have a pretty big following on the internet, okay? By internet standards, not the biggest, obviously, but I have a pretty decent following. I can for a year promote a fan meetup, and we could probably get, you know, I don't know, we could probably get 1,000 people to a free meetup if I promote it for a year. That's between me, you know, Friday Night Tights, Gary, Ryan, Geeks and Gamers, all this. Who was putting this together? This is clearly a paid demonstration. This is clearly organized by someone. This is not just a natural kind of like, we're going to get together and promote this or do this. This is clearly paid protesters. Clearly. Yeah, not only that, who put the graphics together? Who put the signs together? Where'd you get the flags? Where did all of this come from? These are the questions that our officials should be asking. You know, I really appreciate the fact that I think the Trump administration is doing a phenomenal job across the board. But like, I see stuff like this and I'm like, why aren't simple questions being asked right now? Who put this together? Why do they all have flags? Why do they all have signage? Who organized this? Where are these people from? What do they do? Do they have jobs? Do they have families? Do they have responsibilities? These are the questions I have when I see some shit like this. Just to point out, these are the same people that are pro-abortion, but they care about kids. They care about kids, but they're pro-abortion. So anyway, this is going on in New York City right now. New York City has been turning into a hellhole for a long time, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon, sadly enough. So that is one of the many things that we're going to talk about today. But that's something I wanted to show everyone about. Absolutely insane, to say the least. Another thing that's going on right now is you can't make this shit up. You really can't. But people are wanting to cancel Sydney Sweeney. Okay? Because of her new ad for American Eagle. They're calling it Nazi propaganda. Now, if you all know, by the way, I know Delona dropped that proper 199, and I know that this is probably not what Delona was looking for, but I do have to honor the proper 199 with the normal. I told you guys don't send me money for the hair. I did say that, okay? But we did get the proper 199, and of course, there we have it right there, okay? Proper 199 celebration before we talk about the cancellation of Sydney Sweeney.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
I'm gonna do it.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come. Oh.
So here we have this person is really offended over Sydney Sweeney's latest American Eagle ad.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird, like fascist weird, like Nazi propaganda weird.
My body's composition is determined by my genes. Hey, eyes up here.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda?
Their name is literally American Eagle. It's literally American Eagle is their name.
Like this?
I don't know how you figured out that their name was literally American Eagle. That is some amazing detective work, by the way. Thank you so much for pointing out the fact that the company that goes by the name of American Eagle, thank you for specifying that their name is literally American Eagle. How on earth did you figure that one out?
Probably not, but it's still really shocking. Like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, That is Nazi propaganda. I also am thinking about like all of the young girls who are doing
She has to be memeing. Like, is she that stupid? Like, she has to be memeing. This has to be satire. There's no way that this is real, is it? This has got to be satire. This has to be.
Back to school shopping right now at places like American Eagle who are seeing ads like this. Yikes. Also, American Eagle is most.
Sweet Potato Night says Sydney Sweeney has no butt at D-Day Cobra. Sweet Potato Night, you probably have no penis either. So there you go. Because the people that are trying to say Sydney Sweeney is mid is wild. Sydney Sweeney is the type of chick that every dude wants. Okay? She just is, all right? I mean, to be fair, she's no LaFonda, okay? I fully admit she's no LaFonda. But I would take Sydney over LaFonda, okay?
A brand that like teenagers to like young adults shop at. And so the fact that like this type of advertising is being used that feels so for the male gaze and so over sexualized, like I just don't like it. I don't like it even a little bit. Bro, and I haven't even mentioned the fact that this entire ad campaign that Sydney Sweeney.
What happened to its voice? And yes, I said it because I don't know what. Was that a voice changer? Is that like a Ben Affleck Batman voice changer? What happened?
Gaze and so over sexualized. Like, I just don't like it. I don't like it even a little bit. Bro, and I haven't even mentioned the fact that this entire ad campaign that Sydney Sweeney.
What happened? That was weird.
He's doing right now is incredibly reminiscent to the Brooke Shields Calvin Klein jeans ad campaign that she did when she was 14 years old. That was extremely over-sexualized and weird. Yeah. Why are we referencing that? Why are we referencing that? I thought we agreed that that was weird that they had her do that. So we got a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman talking about her good jeans in an ad campaign that is a reference to a 14-year-old Brooke Shields Calvin Klein's ad campaign that we've all agreed was really weird and predatory. Yeah, I don't like this one. I don't like it. I don't like anything about it, actually. Nope.
That voice change really threw me off, and it reminded me of this.
You need to settle down. You need to settle down and mind your business, okay? Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was a general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
No way to prove that you're a ma'am, like going crazy like a steroid-driven lunatic and kicking over displays in a video game store. Yeah, that'll prove it right there. But this isn't the only person that is kind of been going after Sydney Sweeney. I mean, there's right here.
To offspring.
Did American Eagle just run an ad for eugenics?
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
Totally just talking about denim, right? Just a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman explaining how her good genes gave her personality and purity. I mean, are we really going to pretend that this isn't a little fashy-coded? Look, I'm not saying that Sydney Sweeney personally wrote this ad to revive the Third Reich, but American Eagle absolutely knew what they were doing here. You don't get to drop lines about inherited traits, blue eyes, and great genes while zooming in on somebody that could have walked straight off of a Nazi propaganda poster and expect people not to catch that reference. Good genes used to mean racial purity and fascist circles, and now it's just denim marketing. We are watching fascist aesthetics sneak back into pop culture through fashion ads, tradwife influencers, and yes, now blue jeans. If you think this was an innocent ad, you have not been paying attention.
This is why the people that have started this nonsense about calling everything a Nazi and everything racist and everything sexist, it's why they can never be taken seriously. Okay? They can never be taken seriously because they're now calling Sydney Sweeney a Nazi.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it.
I feel like Sydney Sweeney getting canceled for Yahtzee propaganda should have been on everyone's bingo card at this point. But believe it or not, it does keep getting worse because they have continued to drop more ads over the last few days. And today I'm going to show you the most horrific and problematic one. As always, make sure you like, rage, comment, repost.
Problematic is always a red flag word from an angry woman. When they use the term problematic, red flag. Okay, big time.
Post and follow along for more, but if you're not already up to date, here's what's going on. This week, Sydney Sweeney launched an ad campaign with American Eagle that is very clearly white propaganda. And in any other timeline, it might have been less noticeable, but given the current climate of things, it is extremely obvious, and it has garnered them a lot of attention, and even their stocks have gone up because of it. This shouldn't really be a shock. In the past, we've seen her with her family members who are all clearly red hat people.
Yeah! Thank you. You just made Sydney Sweeney that much more popular by saying that her and her family are Trump supporters. Thank you.
In the moment, some people gave her a pass for that, obviously, because you can't choose your family, but her silence since then and this campaign with American Eagle now really seals the deal with where she's at. Obviously, the campaign goes beyond just a bunch of photos and videos in which she's wearing jeans where none of them seem to fit, which was an odd choice. But every single ad is specifically emphasizing this double entendre with the word jeans, saying that Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. That is said throughout the ads over and over and over again, and they could have chosen a number of angles to go about this campaign, but saying that about a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman right now who's dressed all like Yeehaw America, that says a lot. It's pretty obviously promoting European centrism, and it has everyone up in arms about it. But their most recent video is the most obvious and the...
Someone says, didn't this chick have an election morning meltdown? I don't know, but if she did, I would love to see it if somebody has a clip of that. I don't know if I've ever seen this particular chick before, and I don't really want to see her again unless it's an election morning meltdown. But...
the most, like, you can't argue this anymore. Like, you know what you're doing, and I obviously have my thoughts and opinions on it, but I'll let you watch it and just form your own.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
Yeah, I agree with the ad, and I agree with everything Sydney Sweeney said. She has a great personality and she has great genes. Now, what is good about this is that this is a cancellation attempt, okay? And as it stands, it's having no impact on Sydney Sweeney at all, which is a huge positive because a few years ago, this would have had an impact. This would have had a major impact. So that kind of shows you where the culture has shifted to where these lunatics have almost no power right now. And as long as we continue to move in the direction we are, it doesn't mean that everything is perfect. It doesn't mean everything is wonderful. But as it stands right now, these lunatics have lost almost all of the power that they had. They're not being taken seriously, which is exactly how it should be. So, and I'll just be honest, most of that has to do with President Trump. President Trump has changed the culture and he has shifted the conversation and he has destroyed wokeness in so many different perspectives. And we have to continue to move forward because the left and the social justice group, they are the definition of if you give them an inch, they will take a mile. We've all heard that saying before, but this is where these people are literally that saying. They're not interested in compromise. They're not interested in just existing. They're interested in destroying and taking things over completely. And that's why you don't give them any time of the day. You don't give them any credibility or respect or anything like that because they're not looking for compromise. They're looking for destruction. They always have. So, but I stand right behind Sydney Sweeney all day, every day. So there you go. Let's see. River Miles says these protesters are not wearing American Eagle jeans. Shop better for your kids' parents. Thank you so much, River Miles. Chronicling Mayhem says, careful, show your hair for money equals next step of OnlyFans. I know. Delona, I'm sorry. I feel bad. I think it was John Murdoch was like, how much, Jeremy? We're going to drop it. I was like, no, I don't want to grift this. I just want to continue to let the hair grow as long as I can deal with it and then show it and then shave it. So that's it. But thank you, Sophie in the house. Let's see. Vault 95 says Jay had his own drops $500 on the table moment. Of course, Jay did. He's a great grifter. He's great. Let's see here. Michael Taylor says, hey, Jeremy, I hate to ask again, but did you see the Trump painting yet? Hail the 199. Was this an email you sent me? I like I said, I've been traveling all past week. I got in late last night. So if you just want to resend that to me, it'll bump to the top. I will check it out. Sweet Potato Knight says Trump will resign this week. He failed us. EU won. What? What are you talking about? Gerald Armstrong says Tim got the Captain Picard. Cocaine Bear 199 says why? Z Herb says Tim got the Samurai Lord haircut. I'm not just saying that because he's Asian. Let's see. Ehab says, but the hair distracts from your lack of eyebrows. VJ the Vigilant says, you look like Skater Kid from the 2000s. When I showed my hair a little bit. The Hedson says, I will pay for you to get a perm before you shave. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens. The longer my hair grows out, it does weird shit. So we'll see. Sergio says, Jeremy, donate your hair to Tim Pool. Vault 95 says, Tim should shave the head with white stripe for the beard. Z Herb says, hair cast 199 win. Benjamin says, hey, Jeremy, I should be going to Nintendo World next year with my family. Do you want a hat sent over to your post box? Well, I mean, you can. I've been to Super Nintendo World a couple of times now, and I plan on going back later this year. But I'm never going to say no to free stuff. So absolutely. If you're offering, East Coast Toast Boy says mall kiosk guy, bro, I can't with you. Yeah, Netflix Yahoo. He's the mall kiosk guy of world leaders. Braxis says arrest them. This is not protesting, but foreign nationals trying to petition our government. I agree. Solo Felix says why not arrest them? They need permits to protest. C Herb says these idiots make people go against their cause. It's so obnoxious and they never learn. Freak Show says, hail to 199. All hail Sky Commander Starscream. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier would get the membership. Mark of Reality says, I wish that Eric and Donnie would send in the Pinkertons just to spice things up a little bit. Z Herb says, it's weird how people only care about one genocide while ignoring others. Jose Taco says, protester is actually a full-time job. Look it up. Yeah, they probably get paid more than I do. Sec 199 says, make New York City great again, buried under a mile of glacial ice. Phantasmus Knox says, strange that a fatty is talking ish about Sydney. Mark of Reality says, weirdo calling others weird. That's weird. Ryan says, I didn't know I would be whale watching today, but here we are. Let's see, United States Marine Corps 95 to 99 says, does the nose ring make her a cow? No, just her being fat does. David says, just watched Spaceman on Netflix with Adam Sandler and was pleasantly surprised. To me, it parallels Interstellar. Give it a try. Spaceman? Why don't I know about that? I did actually watch Happy Gilmore 2. I tweeted about it. So right here, Happy Gilmore 2 was stupid, was dumb. It was cameo heavy and nostalgia driven nonsense. And I enjoyed it. So I did. It's a very I like Adam Sandler movies. I really do. I like 95% of Adam Sandler movies. But yeah, I mean, I never watched the trailer for Happy Gilmore 2. I love the first Happy Gilmore. I never watched the trailer for it. And so Went into it completely blind, and yeah, it's retarded. It's retarded, but it's fine. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. So I did drop my review for that and for Fantastic Four over on Criticless. If you guys are interested to go check those out over on Criticless. I gave Fantastic Four a 50% out of 100%. So there you have it. My thoughts on Fantastic Four are, it isn't a bad movie. It's just not a good movie either. It's fine for the most part. Galactus was awesome, but Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards drags the movie down significantly. Silver Surfer being a female is retarded, and of course there's some girl boss moments towards the end. Still better than James Gunn's Superman. So there you have it. So that was my take on Fantastic Four. It's not really that great. And then with Happy Gilmore 2, I gave it a 60%. So pretty much it. So if you're interested, those are my thoughts on those couple of films right there. Well, check out Spaceman. So let's see. Demon Knight says, all I hear from that woman is pigs squeal or pig squeals. Delona says, show some manly candy for us ladies. All right. I got to, Delona dropped the proper 199. Ladies, give me some suggestions. All right. What are you looking for? What do you want me to show? All right, here, hang on. I know you want this one, so hang on. Here we go. I knew how to spell. All right. So I know. Yeah, here we go, right here. Yeah, this is a real picture. Real picture. Right there, ladies. There it is. Is that good? That's what the ladies are looking for, right? Okay, that's a good one. Somebody in the chat said it. Here we go. She did drop a proper 199, so. All right, this will make the ladies happy. I got to find. Ladies, is this what you're looking for? Now, I will say the picture I'm going to show you is not quite as, like, probably, like, it might be photoshopped compared to the President Trump picture. So let's be clear about that, okay? And President Trump clearly has a better physique than the person I'm going to show you. So just let's be clear about that, okay? There you go. Probably photoshopped, not nearly as ripped as President Trump. But there you go, ladies, okay? Henry Cavill, okay? Now, but not nearly as ripped as President Trump. But if Henry Cavill keeps working out, maybe he can get to President Trump's level, but we'll see. So there you go. Thank you, Delona. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Z-Herb says, the left, we must celebrate women and let them be sexualized as it's women empowering. Also, the left, sexualizing women is sexist and Nazism. Exactly. These people are fucking broken, man. All right. Next on the agenda, we have to talk about this right here. There's a clip that Clay Travis, I don't know when this was, but I saw that it's picking up some steam right now and people are talking about it again. So this is a clip from Clay Travis talking about Democrats and Republican men. Here we go.
Or what is it that people who are not, who, as Magdalene said, people who don't understand why? That's my first question. I have a second one, but go ahead.
Okay, so what I would start with is men aspire to be bigger, stronger, and faster than we are, almost universally. That's why superheroes are popular. That's why pro athletes are popular. Who is the most masculine Democrat right now in America?
Who? Who's the most masculine Democrat? Please name it. Please name me one masculine Democrat.
And there's
Mayor Pete.
Is that a gay joke?
No, Mayor Pete. No, well, no, it's just that he's not particularly masculine. Nobody's like, oh, Mayor Pete, he's a badass. Chuck Schumer,
You're right, chat. Big Mike. Big Mike is the most masculine Democrat. 100%. Absolutely. Big Mike would beat the hell out of all of them.
Is anybody like, hey, you know, Chuck Schumer holding up an avocado and a beer to talk about the Super Bowl? Is anybody like that trying to grill? Is anybody like, hey, that's a dude I want to hang out with?
But Trump's like a grandpa.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Trump took a bullet in his ear and immediately stood up and said, fight, fight, fight. Every man in America and most of the women out here were impressed by that, even if the women won't.
100%, dude. To say that Trump is just a grandpa and not acknowledge that the dude never stops working, never stops working. Stood up on stage after getting shot and said, fight, fight, fight. He's the definition of masculinity.
Won't admit it. She's shaking her head strong. And second part of this, basically summing it up, Democrats for men are pussies and Republicans
Democrats for men
are pussies. There are no masculine men in the Democrat Party right now.
Or what?
He's right. Like everything that he said is right. You can't deny anything he said. Now, some of you, most of you are probably aware of it, but I think that we should play it again just so you all understand who Clay Travis is and how he became a legend. Now, I've been listening to Clay Travis long before the clip that I'm about to show you, but this is where Clay Travis really went from a sportscaster that was pretty well known on Fox Sports to basically a megastar on the internet. And it's this moment right here on CNN. It's one of the greatest moments in television history. It is amazing.
And that had absolutely nothing to do with sports. And they said, look, you can't have this opinion. It's too conservative. We're not going to allow it. I think that's a bad move. I'm a First Amendment absolutist. I believe in only two things completely, the First Amendment and boobs. And so once they made the decision that they were not going to allow a conservative, non-sports related commentary, they couldn't do it.
Hold on. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly as a woman anchoring the show. Did you say, what did you just say? You believe in the First Amendment and BWBS?
Boobs. Two things that have only never let me down in this entire country's history, the First Amendment and boobs. So those are the only two things I believe in absolutely in the country. And so I don't think Jemele Hill should be fired, but I do think straight up that once you make the decision that you are going to let Kurt Schilling go, that you have to also make the decision that you're going to let Jemele Hill go. I think that's a bad decision. I think ESPN has made bad decisions that have led to 13 million subscribers bailing on the network. They've made bad decisions.
Now, what's good about this as it continues to move forward is the guy, the black dude, he starts to virtue signal and he tries to act like he's offended. And this is why the internet is always going to win. All right. The internet will always win. So once this guy starts virtue signaling about acting like, oh my God, I can't believe that you're talking about women like this. The internet started to dig through all of his Twitter posts and they found all of these posts where he was objectifying women. Now, what was funny is that, of course, he mass started deleting shit and things like that. But what was funny is that he was typically, I'd have to remember this because I remember Clay Travis either said this somewhere or tweeted it or something. He made a reference to it somewhere. I can't remember where. But this guy, once it was determined this guy was like, making all these remarks about women, most of his comments were him making comments about women's asses. And so Clay Travis essentially talked about it. He says, I get why he was offended. Clearly he's an ass man and I'm a boob guy. So I was like, oh my gosh, the best way to play it.
Decisions that have led to ratings collapsing. Jemele Hill's television show is collapsing. Ratings were down 20% last week over last year. I think that's why she's angry. I think that's why she went after Donald Trump. She's begging for ESPN to fire her so she can work somewhere else.
Okay. Keith, what do you think?
Listen, I'm astonished at almost everything I just heard. One of the things that, and Jamel's a personal friend, not just a colleague, but a personal friend. one of the things that Jamel's had to deal with her entire career, and many women who I'm friends with in this business and have been friends with in this business for a long time, is sexism, blatant sexism, comments about her appearance, comments about her racially, comments about her inability or perceived inability to be able to comment on sports because of her gender. For somebody to come on CNN and to say something like the only thing I believe in a discussion about something,
I'm still there too, and I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. BOOZE or BOOBS? Because as a woman, I'm
as in boobs. I believe completely in the First Amendment and in boobs. Those are the only two things I believe 100% in this country. And by the way, Jamel has absolutely nothing to do with her background at all. Did you notice that? He went straight to that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I did go straight to that.
Why would you even say that live on national television and with a female host?
I say it live on the radio all the time because it's true, and that's what I do. Because I like boobs and the First Amendment, which is exactly what I said.
It's so great, dude. It's so great. Like, being offended over stuff like this, and that was such a legendary moment. So the reason I showed that is because, you know, we had the Clay Travis thing where you had another moment that's kind of going viral right now, and I like Clay Travis. He was a DeSantis bro. He 100% was a DeSantis bro. But I've been listening to Clay Travis for a long time. He's pretty legit, but he was a DeSantis bro, so I have to point that out. But either way, Democrats are screwed right now. Samsung for 50 says, mad respect to Jeremy for being both pro-Trump and anti-Trump, a paid Israel asset, a bought and paid for Mossad asset, and an official spokesman for Ripaverse. Truly a man of many gifts. Don't forget a Nintendo shill. Don't forget. Thank you, Samsung. I appreciate it, man. It's so weird because, like, today, I just my default way of doing things is just to respond with sarcasm. Always has been, always will be. So, like today, somebody, where is it? Right here. So, somebody responded to me right here. About my Happy Gilmore opinion. And he says, wow, your Nintendo purchase makes sense now. And I said, actually, it was 5 Switch 2 purchases. If you hated me for one, now you're really going to be mad. He says, no, I never said I hated you. Still watch you all the time. Just question your choices, even these ones. And I says, question it 5 times then. I'm happy to disappoint. And so it's just like, I'm always going to respond with sarcasm. Always. So I'm just going to do the things that you get aggravated of more. So that's just how I operate. John freaking Murdoch for a proper 199 says, hey, Jeremy, says, I can't send money to Sydney. I'll send it to you by proxy. Not sure what these women's problems are, but when they say Yahtzee, they mean MAGA. Hail the 199. Hail Jeremy Mage Prime of the 199. And happy birthday to Jessica Lindstrom. Look at there. Look at there. Jessica still getting some love in the chat, as always. And of course, for the second time today, Sydney Sweeney shows back up, ladies and gentlemen, because of a proper 199 from John freaking Murdoch. That's what we do around here. You know how it goes.
Should I do it? Do not come.
Come on, baby. Come on. I'm gonna do it.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come. Beautiful white paint. It's coming down at 10,000 miles an hour. It's coming down at levels of speed that nobody ever even conceived of. Where it's rough, but it's coming, and now it's turned around. It turns around, and it's coming, and it's gonna. I said, oh, because you see at that bottom, this section right here, that sucker's. Oh.
Thank you, John freaking Murdoch. Legalized adulthood says, all right, now I'm going to stop with sarcasm because legalized adulthood for member messages. Dave Rubin says sarcasm gives him a stiffy. So watch out, Jeremy. No more sarcasm for me. It's over. I'm stopping. No more sarcasm. I'm going to be 100% serious from now on. After this next thing that we're going to talk about. This is a difficult topic for me to talk about. I get very emotional when talking about this. So I'm going to need you guys. I'm going to need you guys to just, kind of be nice in the chat as we talk about this. I was not planning on these pictures, being released, but now that they have been released, I feel that I should acknowledge them. So obviously I was out of town last week and, I said I went to Florida. I was memeing like, oh, I went to Israel. Well, Tree Bear has released pictures of me in Israel. And I'm sorry that these pictures are released. I did not approve these pictures to be released. Okay. I did not approve this, but now that they're out there, I feel that I owe all of you a response to this. And so, it's, we're shutting down CobraCast. Netflix Yahoo made me a hell of a deal, and I'm shutting down CobraCast. So I'll be moving to Israel next week. So this is the last CobraCast. This is the last CobraCast. So there you go. So I have been exposed now. It is over, ladies and gentlemen. It is over. Damn. Thought we had a good run, but now I have been exposed. So done. Madney 45 says leftist crab bucket mentality on full display. She's simply jealous because no one would ever sexualize her. Leftists simply hate beauty. 1000%. T-Mac Gamer says her initials are SS Re. I didn't know what you were saying there. Jose Taco says Sydney Sweeney is the type of sister Jeremy wants. Bumblebee says Sweeney is the Transformers Megan Fox of the modern age. The Artful Brittany, what's up, Brittany? Says the clothing that Sydney is wearing is almost sold out. And this is what we need to get back to. Let women be women. Let men be men. And let the, chips fall where they may. The market determines the market, So Default says, if American Eagle made it with Black Girl, no one would care. This is very true. Very true. Z-Herb says, no masculine men in the Democratic Party. That's a bunch of BS. Big Mike exists. Michael Williams has sent you a DM showing them stopping a game due to the WNBA player losing their wig. On top of it, they kicked the fan out. What? Okay, I'll see if I can find that. That sounds amazing. Madney says, labeling hot blondes as fascist coded will only make fascists more popular. Well, yeah, I mean, again, I saw this comment the other day from someone. Let me see if I can find it. It's so funny. Yeah, right here. Was this it? Can't find. Yeah, right here. This comment right here, somebody posted the Modern Warfare lobby. This is where I learned to be racist. I will never forget my roots. It's like, yes, this is the greatest. This is what this can unify the world. Bring back Modern Warfare 2 lobbies to unify the world.
God, how the fuck you shoot a gun? You riot shield. What else you gonna do? Oh, riot shield. I'm a pussy that use riot shield. Oh, I'm a pussy. What do you want me to use? Faggot. You tell me what you want to use. Prestige, you fucking faggot. Tell me what to fucking use, huh? Tell me what to fucking use, huh? Tell me what to fucking use. Shut the fuck up. You fucking faggot. Pussy. That's right. Yum, 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 I eat dick all day. Yum, 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 I eat dick. You want to fight dick? You eat dick? Nigga, what a fucking homo. You eat dick. Nigga said he eats dick. You a homo, nigga. I was making fun of you, you dickhead. Fucking Ewok looking motherfucker. Fucking idiot. You're looking like a loser right now. You test procedures in riot shield, bitch. Motherfucker, that's what the fuck you are. Keep using your riot shield, faggot. Keep using your riot shield. Keep using your riot shield, pussy.
Honestly, that's exactly how I talk to people that ran the riot shield. I hate people that run the riot shield, dude. I hated it. Running riot shield was the gayest thing ever. Drove me crazy. Z Herb says, I truly believe the left can't understand jokes. A Gene ad making a wordplay joke is a Gene with Gene is apparently some big Nazi conspiracy, not just a pun. Well, that's the thing is that comedy, they don't understand comedy. They don't understand sarcasm. They don't understand comedy. So, for instance, today, President Trump made a comment that has gotten everybody worked up, okay? And it's all over the Epstein stuff. And he made a comment about it, and everybody is freaking out. They're freaking out. This comment right here, and we're going to talk about it here in just a minute, but I thought this tweet was perfect. In 500 years, Trump will be a near mythological figure in history, and people will not believe he was a real person. I agree with this completely. When we're all dead and gone, and in the future, when Trump is talked about and the things that he did and the way that he went about it, people will not believe he's real. They will think there's no way. You guys are making this up. Trump wasn't that type of guy. There's no way this guy was doing the things you guys say, yada, yada, yada. That's what they're going to say. And we are living in this time right now. All right. And I hope everybody appreciates it, because he's there's never going to be someone like this guy again. But in reference to what he said today, let me see if I can find it. The clip was going crazy earlier. Is this it right here? TV? No. All right, here it is right here. This is what got everybody worked up.
Files, but or your name has not appeared in the Epstein files. But doesn't the AG have to tell you if your name is in the files?
I haven't been overly interested in it. You know, it's a hoax that's been built up way beyond proportion. I can say this: those files were run by the worst scum on earth. They were run by Comey. They were run by Garland. They were run by Biden and all of the people that actually ran the government, including the auto pen. Those files were run for 4 years.
Volume's too low. It's as loud as I can get it. If you guys want me to get a different clip, I can get a different clip, but that's the best audio I can get for that one.
By those people. If they had anything, I assume they would have released it. The whole thing is a hoax. They ran the files. I was running against somebody that ran the files. If they had something, they would have released. Now, they can easily put something in the files that's a phony. Like, as an example, Christopher Steele, a person you know well, happens to be from your country. But Christopher Steele, as an example, wrote a book, a dossier. We call it the fake news dossier. And the whole thing was a fake. The whole thing was a fake. They can put things in the file that are fake. But those files were run by bad, sick people. If they had anything, why didn't they use it when I was killing Joe and that he gave out because he was...
I didn't know he said that. I didn't know he said I was killing Joe. I didn't know he said that. And the fact that he paused right before it. Damn it, Trump. I did not know he said.
Those files were run by bad, sick people. If they had anything, why didn't they use it when I was killing Joe and that he gave out because he was 25 points down? And then I got somebody new. Nobody even knew anything about it. She was a horrible vice president. She was a border czar, but she never went to the border. She never once called a border patrol agent to find out how we do. But she was the border czar. Her name was Kamala. Nobody knows her last name. It was Harris, but nobody knew her last name. So I ended up, how would you like to end up in a race where you're killing somebody, you're beating him, and then they say, all right, we'll take him out. He's not working. Let's put somebody else. And then she had a 6-week honeymoon. It was amazing. They predicted she will have a 6-week honeymoon, and she did. And then she got slaughtered.
Do you feel that?
But think of it. Those files were run by these people. They were run by my enemy. If there was anything in there, they would have used them for the election.
Do you feel that?
That drawing that I think I heard you say something the other day that the drawing that was the subject of the Wall Street Journal report.
I don't do drawings. I'm not a drawing person.
Do you think it was fraudulent?
I don't do drawings. Sometimes people say, "Would you draw a building?" And I'll draw 4 lines and a little roof, for a charity. So, but I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings of women. That I can tell you. They say there's a drawing of a woman, and I don't do drawings of women. And also, Epstein was always a very controversial guy. I was at a very high position, pretty much all my life. In all fairness, I've been doing this for a long time. I had the top show on television. I had the #1 bestsellers. I had everything, right? And I was a very successful business guy. He was a very controversial. Who would do a controversial drawing? Now, with that being said, they say there were many letters done by many people, and in many big people, big successful people. But I just don't. When you talk about files, I just keep going back, and other people too. Even the enemy says this thing is not correct, because if we had it, we would have used it on the guy. It's a bad issue. They say it's a good issue for Trump. Do you know that my poll numbers are up 4.5 points since this ridiculous Epstein stuff? My poll numbers have gone up.
And that's across the board. And it kind of goes back to what I've said the whole time is like, it's definitely a huge issue on the internet, but the everyday people are not plugged into this story. They don't care. They care about the economy. They care about staying out of war. They care about jobs. They care about illegal immigration. That's what everyday people care about. They don't really care about this. This is a very popular story on the internet for sure.
4.5 points, because people don't buy it. Okay, people don't buy it. And he's gone, and we want to focus on trade deals. I want to focus on the deal we just made with the European Union, which is the biggest trade deal in history. It's the biggest deal, I think, in history, not just trade deal. So if they would have had something, they would have used it.
People keep writing stories at the time you threw him out of Mar-a-Lago. Can you settle that? What was it about? What caused the breach?
That's such old history. Very easy to explain, but I don't want to waste your time by explaining it. But for years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. He hired help. And I said, don't ever do that again. He stole people that worked for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again. And I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out, and that was it. I'm glad I did, if you want to know the truth.
Mr. President,
And by the way, I never went to the island, and Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. I never went to the island, but Larry Summers, I hear, went there. He was the head of Harvard. And many other people that are very big people. Nobody ever talks about them. I never had the privilege of going to his island. And I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited to his island.
And that's the line right there that's got everybody worked up. It's clear sarcasm from Trump. And the left doesn't understand sarcasm. And this is where they're all worked up.
I never went to the island, but Larry Summers, I hear, went there. He was the head of Harvard. And many other people that are very big people. Nobody ever talks about them. I never had the privilege of going to his island. And I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited to his island. In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I didn't want to go to his island. Yeah.
Mr. President, on Gaza, next time you speak to Netanyahu,
So yeah, so that's at the end of the clip right there. So that's been the big controversy of the day, is that he said that. And that just shows you, like, they really have nothing on this guy. They're grasping at every single thing they can to try. And there was an Axios report earlier that came out, but this is where Twitter people get confused on Twitter because of the way things get reported by a lot of these accounts, and some of them are pro-Trump accounts even. But let me see if I can find it, because it was from Leading Report. Man, I'm not a fan of that account, because the way that they report things, it's very misleading. And they talk right here. It is. So here's what people are running with. Okay. Breaking: Donald Trump turned down opportunity to travel to Jeffrey Epstein's island per Axios. Axios didn't break anything. Donald Trump said it. And Axios repeated what Donald Trump said. But it's being presented as like Axios broke the story that Donald Trump turned down to an opportunity to travel. And it's just like, this is what happens. Like, Twitter is such a shit show by people, doing this all the time. And then they run with the headline because they're not willing to do the research. And then they present that like, oh, Axios has all of this information. Look at this. Look at this. Axios has information. No, they don't. They have no information, but they're presenting it. They're not lying in what they're saying. They're not lying. And Axios probably did release a report on this. But the way that it's being presented is it's being presented as though Axios got the information and broke the story. And that is not what happened. And we see this all day long. And Leading Report is a pro-Trump account. They always have been. And I've always couldn't stand this Leading Report account because of how they present stuff. And then people run with it because they just see it and it's presented in a certain way. And it just drives me crazy. We did see Elon. I don't know if he's deleted this tweet or not, but this was a couple of days ago. All right. But Elon Musk tweeted this out. I don't know if this tweet's still up. Oh, no. First Aussie, now the Hulk. Is George Soros even in this damn thing? Oh, my goodness. Elon's on something, man. Like, dang, Elon. So I don't know if he deleted it. I have no idea. But I did see that this was going around. Oh, man. I mean, listen, everybody agrees with this, okay? Z-Herb says, I truly believe the... Oh, I got that one. Thank you, Z-Herb. Let's see. Zeke says, it's my name. Its name is Midwest's Goth Daddy. East Coast Toast Boy says, Jeremy, please move on from these smooth brains that don't know what a pun is. I can't witness stupid people. I'm tired, boss. I know, man. Twitter is becoming insufferable, man. It really is. Ministry of Wrong Thing says, why people freaking out about Trump not ruling a Maxwell pardon? Trump never shows his cards, rules out a strategy for negotiations. It's art of the deal. It's just like when he was nice to dictators. It's crazy because we've been watching this guy for over a decade now, and people still don't understand what he's doing. And I mean, I again, if you want to criticize Trump for things, that's fine, but he never shows his cards, like Ministry of Wrong Think just said. He never does. When he is in a negotiation of any kind, he never lets the media know anything about what's going on, because that's not the smart play. He's even talked about this in previous administrations, and how the president would get up there and talk to the media and it just give their plans out. And he's like, why would they do that? Let's see. Daniel says, in Black Ops, I used to run Riot Shield, Simtex, nades, throwing axe, and grenade launcher. Banner was a hot dog, and my name was Lord of the Tubes. I made a lot of people mad. If you're noob tubing and running, Riot Shield with nades, yeah, you're going to piss everybody off. Thank you, brother. I do miss the old days. I do. Definitely not Brock. Brock says, remember to stay hydrated and drink water. Thank you, Brock. Good to see you, brother. Corey Wilson says, these people put way more thought into to it than American Eagle. Yes, these people, absolutely. They need to be offended. They need to be offended. River Miles says, Sydney making American Eagle rip up money. Mark of Reality says, Anna Paulina Luna has pretty good genes too. Agreed. Link Okanobi says, what's up, Jeremy? Did you check out that Trump is going after Harris, Oprah, Obama for illegal endorsements on the latest? And the latest is Stephen Colbert. The far left is losing their minds. I support Sydney. Yeah, I talked about that on my last CobraCast of him putting that tweet out about Kamala Harris and Beyonce. Operation Outstanding Infield, what's up? He says, I'm growing my hair out as well for the first time. Would you like to play a game? First person to cut it donates to charity. Let's taco about the details. I don't feel confident enough from my perspective. I don't know if I feel confident enough on that one, Drew. I don't know. Glitch No Mo says, Jeremy, grow your hair out in support of Hogan. Grow the mullet, bro. We'll see. Vault 95 says, stop underestimating how stupid the leftists are. Ehab says, shirtless muscle man shown. The Meek single has been activated. You said single. I think you meant signal. Jackson says, hail. Vault 95, it says, Jay drops 500 on the table, gives a McMahon nod. Mark Avrelli says, I want a protest sign that says Sydney is prettier than you for the next feminazi protest. Fantastic Knox says, if they put a trans person for their jeans ad, they wouldn't make sales. Besides, these women probably don't wear American Eagle jeans anyway. It's true. East Coast Toast Boy says, I would run Riot Shield just to piss off the enemy team. Then they retaliate in chat lobby like so. I would blast my music in the mic. Oof, yeah, I would have hated you. The Under Armour Gamer says, Jeremy, please play the fight against grenade spam Modern Warfare 2. I'll have to see if I can find that. Cole Hauser says, hail, Jeremy. Love CobraCast. Make hot women great again in blue jeans. My friend Charlie just let me post some of her jean pics. Tagged you. Praise Ara. All right. I'll see if I can check that out. Okay. So we have more to talk about. Shout out to you, Cole Hauser. Let's see here. So Bill Maher, and a lot of the people on the left are praising President Trump's tariffs. These are the same people that said that we were going to be put into a recession.
I loved it.
This here, as it relates to Epstein,
that was a home run for me, for him. And I'm a guy who was always saying we should, at least when they had the deal, we should try to see if the Obama plan, the peace deal that Obama made, can work. I don't think I'm telling tales out of school, but once had a long conversation with Netanyahu, who was wanting to talk me into, and may I say right now, all these years later, one, maybe I was wrong. I thought it was worth a try to bring
the JCPOA.
Yes, I loved it.
And not only is you got that clown praising Trump, someone that has had a pretty bad case of TDS in the news media, Chris Matthews, says that the country is moving towards Trump. So even if Chris Matthews is saying it, you got Bill Maher over here, praising the tariffs. Trump is just crushing it across the board everywhere. Even some of the people that can't stand to compliment him are having to compliment him because the Democrats are so incredibly unpopular right now. And we're seeing a lot of reports on that. The Democratic Party is losing their way, and it's all because of Donald Trump. CNN right here having to admit.
The early reviews are in on the new trade deal announced with the European Union. The Financial Times says the deal marks a victory for Trump.
They're having to praise everything that he's doing right now with the EU. And we're only 6 months into this presidency, and it's only going to get better from here. Now, he still has a ton of obstacles in his way. We have a lot of corrupt judges that are blocking a lot of the things that he is trying to do. And I think that the Epstein situation is a massive distraction more than anything. It really is. And I mean that from the administration's perspective, by the way. I don't care about how the media is handling it. I don't care about how right-wing commentators are handling it. I care about what the administration has done from that perspective. I put all of the blame at the feet of the administration for their handling of the Epstein files. All the other noise surrounding it, it is what it is. But I really, all you can do is look at the situation for what it is and call out the administration for their behavior. That's it. And I will continue to do just that. John freaking Murdoch says, hey, Jeremy, how much to live stream you shaving your head? Now, that is a good question. That's a lucrative deal that I could get. I would say I would have to break my live stream record for super chats. That I would make it a collective effort. I would have to break my live stream total in super chats to do that. Does anybody know what my live stream record is? Does anybody know what the record is? I see somebody that's close. It's a little more than that, but it's right. I think it was like 22. I think it was like 22. So I'd have to break my live stream record to consider that one. So that would be crazy, though. That would destroy all, like, because, you have all these people that say, like, oh, it's this. Like, literally watching me get my head shaved on a live stream would be crazy. So, wait, money or viewers? That was money. It was like 22K is the record for a live stream. I think that was wasn't election night. It was something else. Oh, it was an inauguration day. So election night was my record, and inauguration day we broke it. Mainly because of Laughing Man, to be honest. Laughing Man carried both of those streams, especially the election night. Laughing Man, essentially, he owns the channel at this point. So, that's a good question, though, John Murdoch. I'll have to consider that one. Brockatron says women being hot and just seeing women is Yahtzee propaganda. Do they want Yahtzeeism to sound good? Yes, we want Sweeney. This is what they've been doing for a long time. So again, as somebody that didn't fully, I was not caught up in the culture war. So to your point right here, this is what happened. All right. What happened was, let's see. John Murdoch says, I love you, Jeremy, but not enough to know the answer. I hear you, brother. No, but I will go back to the story I've talked about several times in the past few weeks, but the PewDiePie Wall Street Journal story. And when he had 50 million subscribers and he was the biggest YouTuber in the world, and the Wall Street Journal claimed that he was a Nazi. And I'm going, that only makes Nazis sound good. You just said that the biggest YouTuber in the world that has tens of millions of fans, young fans, is a Nazi. Do you understand how stupid you sound, Wall Street Journal? Like, why do you continue to make it sound good? So now they're saying hot women being attractive is Nazism. What? They do it like it's crazy. It really is, man. Default says, I hope any player who ran a Riot Shield or NoobTube loadout in COD at any point in the last 20 years stubs their toe at some point today. John Murdoch, thank you, brother. Ministry of Wrong Things says, with respect to Mr. Knox, it's not that the feminists simply don't like wearing American Eagle. It's that they can't fit in American Eagle jeans. Brockatron says, I'm pretty sure that girl who cries after elections that you didn't know posts fake propaganda on X and disables her comments. Don't know her name, though. Well, that sounds very accurate for someone like her. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could have reacted to some of her stuff in the past, and I just don't remember it. I don't know. It's not ringing a bell, is all I'll say. Okay, we got more stuff to talk about, and it's not going to be a professional wrestling heavy stream. I did, talk about Hulk Hogan a lot the last couple streams for sure, but not now. Oh, here's the WNBA clip. I think somebody told me about it. Here it is right here. Okay. Watch WNBA game halter after a player's wig falls off and a fan was ejected for making fun of the incident. What? You got to be kidding me, dude. Oh, my God.
It bounced around a lot, but at the end, it went through the rim. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. She's going to go head to the back. Oh, no. Timeout called for Copper to deal with the malfunction.
Why did they act like somebody died? They're like, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, this is so bad.
Shakira, beautiful passer, Christy. Just what she's been able to do from a center standpoint, Christy. And now they have an issue with a fan as the officials, as Phoenix's bench had an issue. They're having.
First of all, I don't know. Well, let's let the clip finish. So apparently they kicked the fan out for making fun of LaFonda's weave falling off.
Alyssa Thomas and Nate Tibbetts point out which fan it is so that security here at Care First Arena can have that dealt with. As we're waiting to get back to play here. So the officials are now talking to arena security here. As you can see, so a fan said something. The Phoenix Mercury bench heard it, and they did not like what was said. They're taking exception to it. So
You've got to be kidding me right now. You have got to be kidding me right now. These motherfuckers ask for more money. They're kicking fans out of an arena for laughing at some chick with her weave falling off. It's funny. Oh my God.
Bonner, crew chief, is trying to have this sorted out with the arena security here as to which person it was, and that way they can get it taken care of. 1-point lead to start this fourth quarter. Kalia Copper back on the bench for Phoenix. And it bounced around a lot, but at the end, it went through the rim. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. Oh no.
Oh, no. She's going to go head to the back. Oh, no. Timeout call.
This is crazy. I saw a lot of people, like when the whole Coldplay thing happened, or whatever, the cam thing, and people are like, I can't believe a grown man was at a Coldplay concert. I'm gonna be honest with you. Being at a Coldplay concert is nothing compared to a grown man being at a WNBA game. Like, what grown man is at a WNBA game? Seriously. Name a grown man that's going to a WNBA game. Seriously. Like, by comparison, WNBA far worse. Far worse. Vicky Ted becomes a new member. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Aaron James says, imagine the delight of Krista shaving it off live. Yeah, so that would be it. If Krista would have to shave my head live if I decided to do it. So that would be a hell of a stream. Ministry from Things says, imagine having like 50 people show up to a woman's game and you kick a dude out for actually enjoying something. I know it. Let's see. Phil McCracken says, even to make men, let's see, how to make men gay, make them watch a WNBA game. I mean, dude, like WNBA is the most, like, I know everybody, what's the chick that everybody likes? Caitlin Clark. I don't give a shit about Caitlin Clark. I don't give a damn about women's sports. Okay. I just don't. And I'm not going to pretend that I do. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Like Caitlin Clark, isn't she a leftist anyway? Didn't she bend the knee to social justice propaganda anyway? Wasn't she talking about like how the league is treated? If I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure Caitlin Clark went on the victim narrative about the WNBA. I'm pretty sure she did. Beach volleyball. Now that I can sign up for. Let's see. Aaron J says, let Krista shave it off like Trump did to Vince. Good old Vince. Cody Gray says Brittany Griner goes to the games. God, Brittany Griner. That is a dude. So Bobo Yogi says weave was Kangs and shit. Mod lives matter. So I was not prepared to watch a WNBA clip, but here we are. So there it is. So her weave falls off and a fan gets kicked out of the game for making fun of her. Absolute insanity. Good Lord. What type of world do we live in? They were just demanding more money. And now they're kicking fans out of games. Good Lord. Here's a leftist white woman right here. Listen to what she has to say.
And I see an American flag, I immediately look at that I'm like, that person's probably a bigot. That person's probably a homophobe. That person's probably a racist if they're just flying American flags out everywhere. And I see an American flag, I immediately look at that I'm like, that.
So now an American flag is racist and homophobic. It truly is amazing. It really is, man. What a world we're living in. So here is CNN having to announce that Trump's EU deal that Trump is just on the world stage, just crushing it right now. Here's CNN talking about it.
Isabel, the bottom line is this is the biggest trade deal in President Trump's effort to effectively reshape the global trading order. That has been one of his central priorities since taking office in January. He's been issuing many threats of tariffs, but they clearly have been working in terms of bringing other countries, allies, and adversaries alike, in some cases, to the negotiating table. And the latest example was today here in Scotland when the leader of the European Commission, who of course is negotiating for the European Union, she agreed to a 15% across the board tariff. Now that is significantly higher than the 10% tariffs in existence now, but it's much lower than the 30% threat that was coming on Friday and the 50% threat that was made in May. So clearly there has been an instance where the president has been using his threats of higher tariffs as a negotiating tactic. And in this case, it certainly worked.
And guess who's upset about it? None other than Chuck Schumer.
Over the weekend, Donald Trump announced a new trade deal with the European Union. It will result in a $90 billion per year tax hike on American families. When you raise tariffs, the American families pay for it. $90 billion tax on American families in this tariff deal with the European Union. Donald Trump is, as usual, trying to hype up, exaggerate, and lie about his accomplishments. Donald Trump always lies, almost always lies about his accomplishments, and this
Spit
is
it
no
out.
exception. Over the weekend, Donald Trump and
These guys, do they ever get tired of looking like fools? I mean, it's absolutely insane. Now I'm going to read this from the New York Post because even though they probably have a slanted view of it, because the New York Post sometimes they'll talk about things in a certain way, and other ways they will lie about it. But I don't want to show any of the video because it'll get me hit on YouTube. But we're going to talk about what happened in Cincinnati really quickly. There we go right here. So disturbing video shows woman knocked out cold by a crowd in Cincinnati street brawl. Shocking footage captured a woman getting knocked out cold with a punch to the face during a violent brawl on a Cincinnati street, and police have vowed to track down the violent thugs seen in viral clip. Violent thugs. The fight broke out in the heart of downtown Cincinnati on Friday night, with a white man and a woman appearing to be relentlessly targeted by a group of black assailants. Hey, at least we're actually talking about the facts here. When a white man and woman appearing to be relentlessly targeted by a group of largely black assailants. It remains unclear what sparked it, but witnesses told WXIX that one of the groups oh God, of course, somebody said a fucking word. Somebody said a fucking word. This is always the argument. Someone said the N-word, and we get the right to beat the living shit out of them. This is always the argument all the time. I'm sick of it. All of you are sick of it. We are sick and tired of this victim narrative going on. It's always this. Always. Before the blows started, though it is unclear who the initial aggressors were. Well, we probably know what the narrative will be. So right here, this is absolutely disgusting. Downtown Cincinnati, Ohio, Friday night, fight erupts with people being jumped and outnumbered. A man punched a woman in the face at the end of the video, knocking her out while slamming the back of her head to the pavement. In the clip, a man in a white t-shirt is chased down the street and shoved to the sidewalk by two other men who proceeded to punch and kick him once he's down. So after trying in vain to defend himself, the man is seen staggering to his feet with a bloodied face when a woman rushes to help him, but she runs afoul of the crowd when she tries to hold back one of the attackers and is promptly socked in the face twice, sending her tumbling to the ground with her head cracking the pavement. And here you see some of the still shots of it right here. Her body goes instantly limp, and blood begins to trickle from the side of her mouth as the crowd jeers and the video cuts off. The names and conditions of the people remain unclear. Witnesses said that the man at the center of the fight interacted with the attackers about 15 minutes earlier and that he left before coming back. Police are working to identify everyone seen in the clip. So, this is a hate crime. This is a racial hate crime by the standard and the definition that the mainstream media and the left have created. This is a hate crime with black people targeting white people. These white people were targeted because of the color of their skin. hate crime. Racial hate crime directed at white people. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I don't know if there's any update or anything like that, but I wanted to at least, give you guys a brief kind of overview of that story. So yeah. And, it's getting better. Not from that perspective, not that story, but just the insanity. Show Elon's tweet about it. Let's see. Let me see if I can go to Elon's Twitter account. When did he tweet about it? Because he's probably tweeted a lot. So let's see. Elon Musk. Let's see what Elon said about it. I don't know when he tweeted about it, so I'm scrolling his account now to see, but it may take a minute. He's been tweeting a lot lately. I don't see anything. Yeah, he probably tweeted about it yesterday. Isn't that when the story broke? Let's see. No, I can't find that, but there's this one that I want to look at with him. Yesterday? Okay. Oh, so his tweet about George Soros is still up, by the way. So he didn't delete that one. By the way, Grok has ruined Twitter for me. Okay. Oh, is this it right here? Why zero stories? Talking about, so the AP, zero news stories, Fox News, PBS, New York Times, NPR, ABC, NBC, CNN, Washington Post, MSNBC. Zero stories, ladies and gentlemen. Zero stories. Because of course there's zero stories about this. Of course there is. Why would there be? The media can't build their bullshit narrative off of this. So there you have it. Absolutely ridiculous. Welcome to the lying bullshit media. Okay, so we have another story to talk about that I think is accurate. Let me find it right here. Now, okay, here it is. Yeah, this is the one. So there was an account that I was questioning who posted it, but so right here, this is Matt Walsh. There are wonderful, stable, normal husband-wife couples that have been waiting in line for years to adopt a baby. Instead, they surrendered this poor child to these disgusting freaks. One of the fathers given adoptive rights to a baby, Brandon Keith Riley Mitchell, has been revealed as a registered sex offender. Absolutely disgusting. And there's a lot of right-wing people that will tell you that this is okay. Because Dave Rubin does it with his boyfriend. You know, I obviously, like, people are free to do whatever they want. I don't care what you do in the privacy of your own home. By the way, this guy, like, you don't need to be told he's a RSO. All you need to do is look at this fucking freak. All right. But people can be with whoever they want to be. You can do whatever you want in the privacy of your own home. I don't really care. That's your business. But the proper way to raise a child is to have a man and a woman in the home. That is the proper way. A child needs a mother. A child needs a father. This is the proper way that a child should be raised. Men need to teach the child certain things from a male perspective, and you need to have a woman, obviously, for that perspective. This is how it should always be. When there are men and women, mothers and fathers, right here, as Matt Walsh says, when you have a husband-wife couple that has been waiting in line, why are people like this getting access to a child? Like, you want to talk about a problem? Like, this is where I think that some people get really caught up on the Epstein stuff and they lose focus. Like, do I think the Epstein stuff is important? If there is information out there that can be revealed, I don't know the answer to that question. A lot of people act like they know. What I think is far more pressing is Trump should sign an executive order stating that any adoption situations should go to a husband and wife couple first. Now, I don't want to sit there and just outlaw it and say that gay couples can't adopt. I would say that as long as there's a man and a woman couple, they get precedence over any gay couple. And that essentially cancels out the gay couples getting access, because there's always a male and a female couple that are looking for it. There's always that. I got to stop the video. Oh my. Okay. Tried to pause it. Fuck. Anyway, so there's always a husband and a wife, male, female couple that are looking to adopt. That's always going to happen. And they should always get the advantage in that situation over a gay couple. And that should be an executive order that Trump signs. Absolutely. 100%. That, to me, is far more important than something we don't even know anything about. That's going to protect a lot more children moving forward. A lot more. So, just sick, dude. Sick, and I got to get it off screen. Fucking hell, man. Disgusting. Let's see here. East Coast Toasted Boy says, oh, no, do-rag Jeremy incoming. Andrew CR says, speaking of woman sports, do you know why women are good at tennis? Because the racket looks like a pan. Kudos to Lotus Eaters for that one. Hell yeah. The Skeleton King says, imagine hating the most free country in the world. It's what they are programmed to do. Orthodox Q says, like the ice bucket challenge, you start a head shaving challenge, then it spreads like wildfire. Streamers, celebrities, and politicians doing it for children's charity. Sweet home, Alabama. Hail the 199. It might start something. It might. Saratoga for 10 says, regarding the Cincinnati fight, nothing excuses what the mob did, but it was actually a slap from the white man that sparked the physical brawl itself. There's a video on X about it. Well, let's just use the mainstream standards. Let's assume that's correct. Okay. Well, that would mean because the black person said a racial slur towards the white person. So by the standard that the mainstream and the left have created, the white person has every right to be violent if a word is said. Correct? So if it was racist, if the black person said a racist thing to the white person, according to the mainstream media, the white person is allowed to fight and do anything they want. Because apparently words are the worst thing. Yeah, exactly. We didn't make the rules. We're just following them. Didn't make them. But yeah, I mean, the obvious question is like, let's assume that, forget like sarcasm for a minute, okay? Let's assume that there was a fight. The white guy hits the black guy, okay? Why was it like 12 versus 2? Why did they all have to jump in and pile on? Let people fight. If a fight starts, let people fight, break them up when it gets out of control. That's how it used to be back in the day. When a fight broke out at school, you would let the two dudes fight. Shit would happen. Somebody would get the advantage. And once everybody kind of sees that someone else gets the advantage, everybody goes in and breaks up the fight. All right, you guys got it worked out. Pull people off when it gets super serious or when somebody, essentially, essentially what we were in school is we were the referees, you know, like the UFC referee, how he sees the fight breaking and then once it gets out of control or someone has a clear advantage, the referee stops the fight. That's how it was in school, where the group of people around, we would watch the fight. And when clearly somebody has the advantage, that's when everybody kind of pulls in there and pulls them apart. So, unless you went to the school I was in Montgomery, unless you're at that school, because I have been jumped in school. I have been jumped. Basically, my school that I went to in Alabama, essentially, if you took a black piece of paper and just put about 12 white dots on it, that's what that's what my school looked like. And so, yeah, I have been jumped in school before. I have experienced racism. Can somebody send me money? Can I play the victim for the rest of my life because I, a white person, experienced racism? Am I allowed to be like, can I be the victim for the rest of my life? Am I supposed to define everything that ever happens because I experienced racism? So now I have to, like, you know, whatever, anything bad goes on in my life is because I experienced racism. Ministry of Wrong Things says she sees someone waving a flag and instantly assumes bad things about them in 2 seconds. And she called them a bigot. Can't make it up. I know it. Corn Pop says, I think on YouTube docs me. Well, no, you're still Corn Pop on my end. Yeah, reparations. I need reparations for the racism that I experienced. I agree. Phil says, at this point, I think it's time to reconsider gay marriage and adoption rights. Johnny the Wiz Kid says, I want a hair transplant. I'm not ready to lose hair so soon. I only want hair I want gone is my facial hair. For that, I've been having I don't even know, electrolysis. Let's see. But because of high hormones, it takes many sessions. Thank you, Johnny. She doesn't, and he says she doesn't like sexualized women, but she's into fig stuff and sexualizing kids. Either she hates skin reveal or she's jealous of her beauty. Her assets are at her alluring voice. Let me see. Golden Nugget says, I have to show ID to view adult content. Thanks, UK. Yeah, I saw that there was a discussion about Keir Starmer and Trump about True Social and the censorship that they're having over there and how True Social is censored. I don't know the specifics on that story per se, but I will look into it. But I don't know the specifics on that story at this point in time. There's just been so much news that I've been trying to catch up on. So let's see here. Oh, active shooter with a semi-automatic rifle reported in east side of Midtown NYC. Multiple casualties reported, including NYPD officers. Suspect is thought to be wearing a bulletproof vest. Holy shit. What? Hold on. Let's see if we can get more information on this. Let's see. Hurry up. Hurry up. Okay, I don't have a feed. Nobody's talking about it there. Let's see here. Crazy. Freaking New York, man. It's a fucking disaster over there. All right. Fox News is right now. ABC's not covering it. Let's see. I'm looking for more updates, so give me a minute. Come on. Yeah, these news stations. All right. What is this? See if ABC, of course they're doing their fucking commercials because, you know, reporting on breaking news. This is why the mainstream's dead, because the mainstream's too busy showing retarded ass fucking commercials right now to actually give us any updates on things going on. And they wonder why they're dying. And, you know, you probably got some live streamer out there right now covering it with boots on the ground. And you got the mainstream media playing their retarded ass fucking commercials. Pisses me off. Here we go.
Waiting for more updates there from the authorities, but still a very developing story as it's unfolding just before 7 p.m. in New York City. But you could see just how many first responders, police are on the scene right now.
Yeah. Guys, that clear the street for me. Guys, that clear the street.
So if you're just tuning in, we have an active shooter with a semi-automatic rifle reported in east side of Midtown and NYC. Multiple casualties are reported, including NYPD officers. That's being reported. It's not confirmed. Oh, there it is. NYPD confirms officer shot on Park Avenue. Suspect is thought to be wearing a bulletproof vest. Now, some of you may be asking, but Jeremy, New York is a gun-free zone. And I'm just as shocked as you, because as all Democrats believe, if you put a sign up, criminals will back off completely. And they're like, oh, I was going to bring a gun in here today and shoot people. But there's a sign that says this is a gun-free zone. It usually works. It usually works. I am shocked that it didn't work this time, because usually those signs work. Yet here we are.
Was, and the photographer, as well as just the general public, not safe to do so. So they are now telling everyone to get back another block here. But we are watching this all unfold for you here on Live Now from Fox. Viewer discretion is heavily advised during this time as police continue to, let's just listen in now.
Bossman, it's not a good spot. It's not a good spot. All right, we should back up.
All right, so it looks like police are continuing to push back more of the public here and telling them maybe to go down another block here. But a good show of presence, of course, from the NYPD. And you are seeing the staging area with ambulances as well as a fire department truck. And now you got a stretcher out there as well. So right now they are in that staging mode and just waiting for police to give the go-ahead, but it looks like they are being pushed back more just from those actions by that one officer that we just saw moments ago. So let's see what happens next. Yeah, it looks like they are being pushed back some more. And we are awaiting what is going to happen next during this very critical incident that is happening now in New York City. We appreciate all our viewers continuing to join us, those that are watching worldwide for this event. This camera right now, very fluid as this photographer is being pushed to go down maybe another block right here, but just trying to capture all of the images that are unfolding right now as police saying now go down another block. All right, so this is a roving camera that the photographer right now is continuing to be pushed back by the police. All the public is being asked to do that as well. And you are just watching this all unfold. Major police presence on Park Avenue and near 52nd Street. And you can see the photographer now going into the street. But look at these blocks right now are just filled with NYPD vehicles at the moment. Hi, everyone. Mike Page here. Thanks again for joining us as we continue to bring you this breaking news that is happening out in New York City. A critical incident event, no doubt, has happened. And we're taking you back out now live to just show you the different areas that is all being impacted right now. But we'll wait until the photographer is able to stabilize the shot. Right now, we're seeing just a lot of people walking through the area. No doubt it is a summer night in New York, Monday evening, just past 7 o'clock. And in this area, they have heard, of course, the sirens going on between the police and first responders as well. Looks like the shot's now stabilizing, so we'll take you there now. But you can see blocks and blocks right now are just filled with first responders at the scene. And you can see a stretcher there that is going maybe possibly to area where somebody needs help right now. So we are keeping an active eye on this for everyone, and we are going to be staying on this as long as we have the shot here. Developing story continues. This major police presence happening in New York City. And they just put out a statement about 10 minutes ago saying, due to police activity, please avoid the vicinity of East 52nd Street between Park Avenue and Lexington Avenue. Expect emergency vehicles and delays in the surrounding area.
So that's the latest update that we have right now.
We are waiting to see what is going to unfold here next. But again,
So the last thing I heard was that there's an active shooter with a semi-automatic rifle in the east side of Midtown in NYC. I don't know exactly where that's at, where that's located. East side of Midtown. I don't know New York that well. Multiple casualties reported, including NYPD officers. Suspect is thought to be wearing a bulletproof vest. So I don't know where Midtown is, east side of Midtown in NYC. So it's Monica says, just Googled it. It's about 7 blocks from Trump Tower walking. Noted. Okay, so that's not far from Trump Tower. Then I know where that area is. It's near Madison Square Garden, Jeremy. Okay. Okay. So it can't be too like, we got, let's see. Oh, yeah. All right. I thought I saw some movement there, but it was the other clip I was looking at. What is this?
Park on Saturday to review their photos and videos for any sightings of the suspect or vehicle. Devil's Den State Park.
Oh, that's another report. And I thought they were reporting on what we were watching just now, but I was wrong.
Is deemed safe where they could do life-saving measures if they have to there. But you're seeing now more tactical police officers coming to the scene, even running to the corner there. And we are waiting to see what we are going to.
Okay, we got a tweet right here. Middle Eastern man wearing a bulletproof vest is opening fire on police on the east side of Midtown in New York City, per reports. Middle Eastern man. I am shocked, guys. You're telling me. Let me review this. Let me review this, okay? You're telling me that a person potentially of Middle Eastern descent he ignored the signs that said no guns? You're kidding me. There's no way, man. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. This is MAGA propaganda. You cannot make me believe that a Middle Eastern man would not respect the laws of the United States of America. You're not going to, nope, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying your MAGA grift.
K9 officers there on the ground as well. NYPD officers were seen with guns drawn after reports of gunfire erupting in Midtown Manhattan. Of course, there's a very heavy police presence that was observed near 51st Street and Park Avenue. Witnesses, including a Fox 5 New York employee, reported hearing gunshots in the area. NYPD and the Sheriff's Department officers are in protective gear and seen with their guns drawn just moments ago as well. Video taken by a Fox 5 New York employee shows several officers carrying a person, and other officers appear to be tending to a person lying on the ground here. So we are going to see how this all unfolds. Viewer discretion advised. Continuing as we're taking this live raw feed from New York right now. Heavy police presence continues on Park Avenue near 51st Street, and we saw within the last 15 minutes police pushing back the general public and media to a safer location that is right here, right now. All right, everyone, you are taking a live look here. We'll wait until the photographer is able to stabilize another shot. I'm your host, Mike Page, continuing with the breaking news out of New York right now, where there's a massive police presence going on as NYPD members really take to the streets. They have converged there on this Monday evening on this summer night. And this is coming from the NYC Emergency Management saying avoid the area near Park Avenue and 53rd Street. Follow instructions from emergency personnel for real-time verified information and official emergency updates. Sign up for Notify NYC. Text Notify NYC to 692-692. Download the Notify NYC app. And that is just being put out there, and we'll continue to look here as the NYPD News putting this out on X as well, saying due to police activity, please avoid the vicinity of East 52nd Street between Park Avenue and Lexington Avenue. Expect emergency vehicles and delays in the surrounding area. And here's our live shot right now that we are continuing to take out in New York here. A very, very fluid scene that is happening where police personnel are coming out in droves, really taking over the streets there in Manhattan as this major police presence continues. Active investigation will follow, but you saw the first responders out on the scene as well, and then you had the holding pattern of the emergency crews as well as fire and ambulances. And now you have more people just coming out to see what is going on. They're hearing all the noise and commotion. You have police putting up yellow tape.
Okay, so I'll keep an eye on that. East Coast Hosted Boy says if there's anything that should require a background check, it should be kid adoption, not buying guns. It may not completely prevent that crime, but at least it can help reduce them to a degree. I agree completely. Let's see. Golden Nugget says, I have to show ID to view adult content. Oh, got that one. Cocaine Bear says, check on Reno, 3 deceased. I heard about that. I've never been to Reno. I heard about 3 dead. Awful stuff. Leighton Hallman says, I learned a long time ago, never believe the news and never trust the government. So few of these things are straightforward. This is true.
How long ago was it, Matt? About an hour ago, I was walking home, going to Grand Central, and then I saw a rush of people come from behind me. I had my headphones on, so I couldn't hear. And then somebody said, gunshots, gunshots. And then I turned around, and more people were running, and then it kind of quieted down. So I walked back towards the Bank of America to check it out, and then I saw a bunch of cops, guns drawn, going into the side entrance, not Bank of America, but the side entrance on Park of a park, going in there, guns drawn. And then a few minutes later, a rush of people came out, and then 4 police officers were bringing out another officer who was looked injured. He was being carried by his arms and his legs off, and I don't know the status of him or what happened. Right, and at this point, we don't know. It's important to point out, I mean, I know you saw them carrying him out, but we don't know if it's a police officer. We don't know if it's a security guard. We don't know if it's somebody in some other type of uniform. It was somebody in uniform, but you're right. It looked like a police officer to me, but it was the same color uniform, but it could have been a security guard. It could have been somebody else. You're right. Okay, now I want you to take a look at all the activity that's going on here. Just go right over my shoulder, Gus. You can see there are hundreds of police officers out here. Now, they have pushed us back from the scene. We were across the street at East 50th and Park Avenue. Now they've pushed us on the other side of the street. Now, they have cordoned off, it seems to be like a 4-block area from 50th going up to 53rd and from Madison going down to Lexington. So they are not letting people walk up and down the side streets. I saw SWAT teams arrive here. When we pulled up, it was about, say, 20 minutes ago. We have emergency services, emergency service unit. That is the SWAT team. Them showing up. We're talking about the trained officers.
What the hell's that woman gonna do? Just saying. Female police officer. What the hell is she gonna do? What the hell is she gonna do?
Incidents where we have been doing stories on possible terror attacks. The sirens are going off like crazy here. I mean, cop cars just keep arriving, undercover cars, regular NYPD cruisers. There is management here from all different levels from the NYPD. And from what we are hearing, there is still an active shooter situation. Now, at this point, we don't know exactly what the building is. Now, we were told it's a Bank of America building, but we don't know if it's that entrance that the officers...
There's a lot of jokes right now.
Avenue itself, but the side entrance.
On 51st, it was the side entrance, not the Bank of America right in the front there, but that side entrance is where they were all going in. And I did see the SWAT teams go in at one point, and then, like you said, people coming out, running, and then bringing the officer out.
Okay. Hold on just a moment. Sorry, I'm getting a call from one of my colleagues, one of my managers. Hold on just a moment. Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead. Can you talk? Hello? 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 Okay, whoever's trying to reach me, it's not going through.
This is about as professional as a CobraCast.
Look at Slack here, because we've got some information that's coming across Slack about what exactly is going on here. It's saying there are at least 3 injured. And again, all of this information is preliminary from a law enforcement source telling my colleague, Arthur Sheehan, at least 6 people shot. One police officer was on paid detail, possibly from the Bronx. Now, again, this is all preliminary information. He's also being told that there is an AR-15 and a vest on the gunman. So the gunman is wearing a bulletproof vest and is carrying an AR-15. That is what my colleague Arthur Sheehan is hearing right now from some of his law enforcement sources. So this is still a very active scene. Again, law enforcement saying
telling Arthur Sheehan from his sources at least 6 people shot. Now, again, this is breaking news. This information could change 5 minutes from now. This is how it happens. It's a developing story. More and more police are showing up here in marked cars and in black SUVs, unmarked vehicles, lots of police officers here. We've got state police, the NYPD, and plenty of police officers walking around with long guns. And again, pushing the public back as far as possible. The location where we are right now, the video that you're looking at, is East 50th Street and Park Avenue. That's about, Matt, what is it, a block or two?
About a block, yep, about a block or two.
Is that Eric Adams?
Mayor Adams.
Yep.
Are on the scene. He's wearing a bulletproof vest. He is with his security detail. He is talking on the phone. He is being updated by the second about what's going on here. Now, again, the mayor, a former police captain with the NYPD, excuse me, my voice is cracking from allergies. The mayor is staying, though, on this side of the yellow line for now. Again, Matt, I'm sorry. So the entrance is what, a block from here?
Yeah, 51st Street, and then what that side street there. So 51st and Park, as you're going to 3rd Avenue. Is that 3rd Avenue or Lexington? Yeah, Lexington. That's that side entrance right there.
Okay.
Right where the Bank of America building is. That's where
all of this is going down. Okay, do me a favor. Just stay here for a moment. Hey, Gus.
Yeah, like.
Gus, no, look at me. Just right on air here. Okay, so now this is where it's all happening. The mayor showed up here.
This is amazing.
Just on Sunday's tape. He is being briefed right now by NYPD brass. This is all happening. Gus, stay on me. This is all happening. We are on 50th and Park Avenue. Where this incident is happening is just 1 block from here, okay? 1 block from here at 51st Street. And
Dude, legit, if I ever get Geeks and Gamers big enough, I'm gonna hire people in major cities. I'm gonna provide them with, equipment, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna pay you to every time something bad is happening, you have to go and cover it. And then I'll go live and cover your coverage. So we can have some real, actual reporting. I'll pay somebody in New York. I'll pay somebody in LA. I'll pay somebody in Chicago. I'll pay you hazard pay in Chicago.
Again, Linda Schmidt with Fox 5 News here. I'm out here with Gus Batista. He is my cameraman.
Batista?
And we are reporting from Midtown.
Dave
Now,
Batista?
Again, the mayor just crossed the yellow police line. He is walking toward 51st Street, which is 1 block from here. And then if you would make that right on 51st, it is just down, excuse me, a short distance, which is the entryway to where my colleague Matt Otimus, and we'll be talking to Matt here again in just a moment, where he saw all of the officers with their guns drawn at the door, and then saw officers, multiple officers, carrying out someone. It appeared to be a man in a uniform who apparently had been shot. So Gus, go ahead. We can just show the rest of the scene here. Again, we have state police on the scene, literally hundreds of police officers. Now, because I'm monitoring, hold on just a second, because I'm monitoring other sources of information, I'm not able to make phone calls to my sources while I'm going live here and reading information coming in from some of my colleagues. But again, my colleague Arthur Sheehan posting for us, and I'm just reading what he wrote. For background, officers on paid detail are technically off duty. Okay. New Yorkers commonly see them in the businesses that pay for additional security. Okay. The gunman walked in. The gunman walked in with an AR-15 in clear view. Do we have pictures? I mean, I'm looking at the pictures right now.
A picture up like there.
Yeah, one of our colleagues, Peter Fassini, just posted 2 pictures.
So what would have happened if there would have been good guys with guns? The law-abiding citizens aren't allowed to bring guns, but the bad guys, I know you guys think, you Democrats think that the bad guys are going to be like, well, there's signs up, so the bad guys won't bring guns as long as we put a really aggressive sign.
Hold on just a second. Oh, okay, hold on just a second. All right. The police department is making us move away from the location where we are now, but I want to continue to describe. I hope you guys have the pictures. The suspect apparently wearing a blue blazer. It looks like a navy blue blazer, either a light blue or a white collared shirt.
What?
Sneakers, like black and white.
If he's white, they'll tell us he's white. If
Looks
not,
like to be like a pair of dark jeans carrying what appears to be an AR-15. Oh, sorry, I gotta move. Cops are yelling at us. Okay, thanks, guys. Be careful. Carrying what appears to be an AR-15. He's holding it down by his side as he is walking, and he seems to be walking with purpose. It's not like he's just casually walking along the street. It looks like he is intent, obviously, with an AR-15 of carrying out something destructive. But what's really striking me about this is that it's broad daylight, and apparently nobody in this moment noticed that this man was walking with an AR-15. And the picture, it is absolutely clear.
Yeah, you can really see it. Hold on, I'm on the air with the mod.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, my colleague, Matt, let's hop back in here. Just go ahead, leave that back there. That's right.
okay, I've got another.
We're all helping each other out here.
I've got a
This is
couple.
breaking news. We haven't been experiencing.
All right, I don't know if this guy's like an eyewitness. This guy is taking all of his opportunities, man. He is not missing anything. But here I got right here. So multiple reports of reports of multiple people shot on the 33rd floor of a Park Avenue building. Floor is not secure.
Rodriguez. What's up? Leave it right there. Can you do me a favor? Can you?
Kamala voters. Okay, I also have this clip right here. Right here.
Cover the back, cover the back. Back up, back up, back up. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Move back, move back, move back. Let's go, move back. Move back, move back. Move back. Move back. Let's go, let's go.
This is crazy.
This guy, he comes out of here with the he's from Palestine. He keeps saying free Palestine. He got his face covered up in the Palestine stuff. He walking out. The police don't pay him no mind. I said it's him. And then they end up getting him. They got him and they put him to the ground and they got him. They got him. Tried to bomb it up. I don't know. He tried to bomb it up, and so did the lady. The lady that he came in there with, she left with a red bruise on her face, though. She went down there.
She was with him?
Holy shit. Yes, that was Egg Roll. That was Project Egg Roll.
Sorry, Rodriguez. Can you do me a favor? Can you?
Probably Kamala voters. Okay, so that clip has ended. We'll go back to the live feed right now. Listen to what they're saying.
Of the building was taken to New York Presbyterian, which is not far from here at all, one of the best hospitals in the world. And apparently that person is in bad shape, according to my colleague, Arthur Sheehan. I mean, we can only pray that whoever this person is, that they pull out of this. But again, he is hearing from a source that the shooter shot himself, that he is down on the 33rd floor of the building. So talk to me a little bit.
Here's the picture, apparently, of the Manhattan active shooter. So that is the pictures.
He was also wearing sunglasses, dark sunglasses, navy jacket, black jeans, and sneakers. Let me see. Did anything? Okay, hold on. Confirm.
Linda,
okay,
police were in there for a while. They were.
Oh, sorry, cops are coming through here. I gotta move. Get over to the other side. You got to get over. Just get over. Okay, we got an NYPD vehicle coming down 50th.
There it is right there. So now we know why they didn't mention, his skin color or anything. The mainstream anyway. The mainstream didn't say like a white male, because anytime they don't say their race, you know exactly what's going on at that point.
Areas where, and it happens to us all the time, and we see it all the
The
time.
Weekend?
In the news business, that you could be 2 blocks from here, there could be a major explosion going on, and you have no idea that anything is even happening because you're 2 blocks away. And unless you come into that street or that area where it's happening, you still don't realize. So that's what police are dealing with. They're having to push back literally hundreds and hundreds of people who are walking along the sidewalks on 50th, 51st, 52nd, 53rd, between Lexington and Park and Madison, because they have to keep the public away. So, and they keep pushing back the media, which they just did. And now, let me try and see what's going on here. There's people some officers getting out of a truck here. I'm sorry, I'm on the phone. What's up? On air. Okay. All right. So we're going to stop here for now. Okay, folks, hold on just a second. I have to call into the station. They're going to take us live on the air right now. Give me like 30 seconds. Fox 5 News.
All right. So 30 seconds. So I think this is a perfect time because, as you know, CobraCast takes things very seriously around here. We are the definition of what respectable news should be. So we are going to give her time, and we will take this time to do the respectable thing right now, which is announce new merch. If you are interested in the Hulk Hogan edition of CobraCast merch, this was an idea from the chat, by the way. I didn't come up with this idea. Somebody in the chat sent a $5 super chat and says you should do a Hulk Hogan style logo, a Hulkamania, CobraCast Mania logo. So there it is right there. I think that's pretty fucking badass. Mods will drop the link in the chat right there. You have different styles. You have tank top, hoodie right here. You have the I think this is like the this is a like a different version of the t-shirt, and you have the standard version of the t-shirt as well. So there you go. So as a respectable podcaster, I gave them time. And now let's go back to the live feed right there. Here we go.
First responders. But I've got to tell you, Mike, New York City is no stranger to these active shooter events, and they train quarterly for this. So, you know, the men and women of the NYPD are ready for this, because we see with the huge presence that they have around this building on the corridor. And, you know, they're just now going through the process of locating witnesses and making sure that scene is secure for crime scene.
Whoever said that, damn you. Somebody said, look at that neck. Sateri. Now I'm looking at his neck because you said, look at his neck. And because I had to look at his neck, I'm going to make sure the rest of the chat looks at his neck. I wasn't looking at it, and now I am. Thank you.
Type of effort when you have reports of a man with a gun.
A lot of manpower, and you see that, you know, we see an emergency service vehicle here. So there elements of the NYPD, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, I knew, in fact, is on.
This is one thing you'll learn on the internet. If something is wrong with you, the internet will point it out. All right. You just have to live with that. You just have to live with it. If something's wrong with you, the internet will point it out.
Whether he's deceased or not deceased, and make sure that shooter is secured. And then you go to the backup of starting to process the crime scene, etc. But it's an undertaking to locate especially if it's a single shooter, on the 30th up floor of one of these high rises. So you're going to have to clear that building methodically as you escalate up the building.
And when we see images like this, when they're horrifying going on.
All right, he's dead. So
like,
I don't know if that was through the earlier reports, but the Manhattan shooter has been found dead. Hang on. Manhattan shooter has been found dead. New York Post said that. So New York Post just said it. Found dead. I'm sure they're going to update it here in just a minute.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't know the motive for this this particular shooter. But I can almost assure you that once that shooter and everything's...
Oh, we lost him. Someone said, do we ship to Sweden? Sweden, it's Teespring, so whatever they're shipping is...
Did maybe lose their Jamie. We'll be keeping an eye on that. As soon as we get Jamie back, we will bring you more from him, as he was just trying to explain. But now taking you now back out live right now, we are continuing to follow the very latest that is coming from New York City. Obviously, a very, very fluid situation that is happening right now in Midtown Manhattan. You are seeing the huge police response that is coming. It looks like we have reestablished with Jamie. Sorry, we lost you there for a moment, Jamie.
I'm sorry, I'm traveling back up to DC, so I apologize. I'm at the airport. But as I was saying, that the building, it's a high rise, so you have you're going to have to secure the outer perimeter of that building, and then, as I was saying, methodically might go and clear the interior of that building floor by floor. I've heard rumor that he's on 30th or 30 and above. But you've got to make sure they're not a secondary shooter in this situation. And it's just, you know, officer safety at this point. But also they're going to be a quick step in their step, because we just don't know if he's down or not down, for lack of better words.
Sure. And just talk about the response. What is it like for those first arriving officers that are coming on? And, you know, like you said,
somebody asked, Jeremy, do you ship to my mom's house? Well, I dropped off a pretty big package a few days ago at your mom's house. So, yeah, I could definitely swing by there and drop another big package off.
The emergency system for information and intelligence. So as you're arriving and responding to that scene, you're collecting that information from the... So once you arrive, then you want to get eye and ear witnesses to find out who, what, where, and when. And in this case, it was supposedly a single...
Don't be gross, chat. I was talking about poop. I had to poop. I wasn't... Don't you guys make everything sexual. I was talking about I had to go poop.
For being shot by this madman. So you're going to have to eventually go after him. We've seen this in training, on an active shooter training. You want to go to immediately...
He's having
Jamie,
some...
how at that point when you are just seeing it all unfolding, how do you know that there's not maybe explosives in the area? How do they kind of try to locate that if there is some of those elements?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that play out in the past. Just recently, I think up in Idaho, they had something similar where they actually found an IAD after a shooting. So you're going to have to methodically clear that crime scene with a lot of personnel. I can assure you that the NYPD and the Joint Terrorism Task Force has bomb units on the scene just in the event they find an explosive device, so they can obviously make that safe so they can continue searching for the gunman.
So true.
Okay, here's what
now-
we have. So right now, the latest update that I see is at least 6 people have been shot, and the suspected shooter has been found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound on the 33rd floor of the Blackstone building. So 6 people, at least 6 people have been shot, and the suspect is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So he was a coward, because of course he was a coward. That's not surprising at all. And so this again is the shooter right here. This is just dude is casually walking with this gun, like absolutely insane, dude. Could you imagine what would happen? Like, okay, so what is the Blackstone building? What is that? For people that are from the area, what is the Blackstone building? Because it's like, where is security at? Do you not have security guards? Like, why wouldn't you have security there at the front? Apartments? Is that what it is? It's like apartments? It's got to be some expensive ass apartments. All right, they're going back to their favorite guy here, this guy.
One or two, it was just a ton of people, and I turned around and somebody said, you know, shooter, gunshots, and so I didn't hear anything. I took my headphones out. I started walking back towards, because I saw some people were kind of walking back towards 51st, and so when I walked back there, I saw police officers with the gun drawn. I called Fox 5, I called the newsroom, I let them know there's something going on, and then I just started recording on my phone, seeing officers going into the side entrance of Bank of America, with gun drawns. A few minutes later, a bunch of people come running out, you know, people that look like they worked in the building. Then there were 4 officers that were carrying, which I thought was another officer. It could have been a security guard or another person in a uniform, but that person looked like they were injured because they were carrying them out by their hands and their feet across the Esplanade to another police, you know, car or ambulance that was waiting.
Okay, and then also you were talking to some of the people who were around here even prior to you arriving on the scene. Talk to us. What did they say?
Yeah, a bunch of people that were sitting by the church said that one witness said that he was talking to a woman who saw somebody with an AR-15 going into the building, and that's what they heard, automatic gunfire. I heard gunshots, not so much rapid fire like an AR-15, but just I heard like a pop-pop that kind of supports that. But
Okay. All right, go ahead. Continue talking. Police they want us to move further back. So hold on. We got it. Thank you so much. Thank you. So police are moving us back. Hold on. Go ahead. Police are moving us back here. They want us to get as far back from Park Avenue. Because
Their audio is clipping in and
just
out.
around the block from where we are right now. So we have to keep walking to the location where they want us to stop. My guess is they're taking us to Lexington because this is Park Avenue right here behind us. Now we're going to Lex, which is further away from where this happened. And they're doing this for our own security as well. This is where they're pushing, and they have been pushing back the general public. Anybody walking by.
All right, y'all's audio sucks. And that's coming from me. So the update, as we have it right here, is that at least 6 people have been shot. And the shooter is reportedly dead. We're trying to, and he killed himself, because of course he did.
Oh, they're getting us down here. Okay, great. Thank you.
I feel like this was a little bit earlier.
Safe. So, police are escorting us, and they want us to be on the other side of Lexington, so we're away from this. Matt?
Yeah.
While we're walking, just tell me real quickly what it is that the witnesses told you that they saw.
Who is this guy? Why do they keep? Why is this guy still there?
And then heard automatic gunfire, and that's what they told me.
All right, so now we are at Lexington and 50th Street. Did you guys want us to keep talking, or do you need me to wrap, or what do you want to do?
Come here.
I'm sorry.
All right, well, they're annoying, just to be clear. Ministry of Wrong Thing says they got to catch him before he reaches the tunnels. Eric K says, Jeremy is racist. Jeremy, it is racist of you to make him follow the law. You are being a bigot thinking he needs to follow the rules. Dems think social workers should have responded instead. This is what they voted for. Dan says, off topic. What are your thoughts on the Visa, MasterCard censoring Steam and other content platforms? Yeah, I mean, the Visa and MasterCard control way too much. I don't know, but I want to hear what she has to say. She's got a great personality.
Saw a person walk in with an AR-15 gun. Witnesses say that they heard pops.
I agree with everything you're saying. I agree with everything you're
Have
saying.
been shot at a Manhattan office building. In that area, there's Bank of America, a number of banks, too, a very, very heavy police presence in that office building in Midtown Manhattan. We do have Kendall Green now with the very latest. Kendall, if you can hear us, where are you and what can you tell us?
We don't care, Kendall. We don't care, Kendall, at all.
Avenue, the building in the middle of the scene is right there near 943 Park Avenue, not too far away from us. And they've been pushing us back.
Somebody in the chat just said she's hella mid. It's easier to just admit that you're gay, bro. Like,
Heard warnings coming from other citizens that there was a shooter inside that building, and I have some of those witnesses right here. I'm going to be joined by one of the individuals who was inside, pretty close by. Talk to me about what you saw, what you heard. Just tell me about it.
I was city biking home from work today from downtown.
dude, if he says
pulled up and I saw.
if he says Epstein didn't kill himself, I will be so fucking happy. Or if he says fuck her right in the pussy.
I saw a car, black, BMW parked right outside the building, which looked like, the shooter's car. And then I saw, 5 minutes later, two people getting dragged out by police. Not sure if it was the shooter or civilians, but I saw two people, immediately put in an ambulance. Couldn't tell if they were alive or dead, but it's pretty scary.
You said that you thought there was some sort of robbery or something going on.
Yeah, it looked at first like it was some sort of robbery, and then they, transitioned into I believe that's the Blackstone building. And then, three or four cops immediately went in, and then, 5 minutes later, a couple hundred cops and, first responders showed up, and, two people came out, in the hands of the law enforcement. I'm not sure if they're alive or dead, but it looked like,
Chad is so brutal, man.
This type of response here along Park Avenue, a bunch of businesses, including where you work as well. I mean, the surprise about it.
Yeah, sorry, say that again.
To see this type of response here along Park Avenue, I mean, nobody could imagine.
Yeah, it's shocking. I've been living here for 7 or 8 years, and I've never witnessed something like this. Very sad, and I hope everyone's okay. And shout out to the police and first responders for showing up within minutes to the situation. So I hope everyone's okay. Yeah.
So there's other witnesses here, folks here in this area who are evacuated. They've been here for a while, and we're going to bring a couple more in. Just what did you see earlier when you got here? Just talk to me about it.
So my office has an exit on 52nd and Park, so I was just leaving to go home, and I go east, and we were on the block, saw just a few cop cars, a few machine guns running around, and then out of nowhere they started pushing us down to 53rd because they realized that the shooter was in the 30th window and we were in the shooting zone. And then, cops and ambulances.
What was Egg Roll doing back there?
Crazy.
You've been here for how long now?
Probably about an hour. Yeah, about an hour and a half now, trying to wait. Originally, we were back over on
on 51st and 52nd, and they started coming like right away saying, get back, get back. Then you started hearing and seeing cop cars coming from all different directions, the ambulances shutting down the roads. And then we've just progressively been like shut down more and more. And when we asked a police officer, they did confirm there was an active shooter, as if we didn't already know, but they haven't given us any other details. We're finding out from the news more than we are the police officers at this point.
Appreciate y'all taking time. Obviously, it's definitely a situation here. We spoke with another individual who also saw that was evacuated as well. We'll give you the latest on that in just a minute.
Yeah, Kendall, witnesses there painting a really terrifying scene, talking about a shooter perhaps on the 30th floor with police officers running with machine guns. I know that officers are pushing a lot of our reporters around this perimeter. As you can see behind you, still a very active scene. Maybe you can tell us about what's in that area in terms of the building. So I've heard Bank of America, potentially a Blackstone building as well. Any idea of the different businesses that are in that building?
Particularly, I can't tell you the particular buildings that's well, the businesses specifically, but Blackstone, I believe, owns 943 Park, well, 349 Park, and I believe Bank of America is housed within that building as well. So all of the different buildings, not specific. I can't give you specifics on it. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. So you're on Park Avenue near 52nd. What does that? Where are we seeing? And I think right now we're looking at Skyfox video too from one of the vehicles here. Again, just you're joining us right now. We know that 2 people have been shot at a Midtown Manhattan office building. This is 52nd between Park and Lexington Avenue. We've been hearing a lot of witness accounts there on the scene with a number of our reporters in that area. Please avoid it because, as you can see, it's still a very heavy police presence. We've heard that people saying that they heard gunshots. They saw someone walking in with an AR-15 gun. We do know that at least 2 people have been shot. Our Kendall Green is on the scene, as well as Linda Schmidt. They're just being moved around in that very, very active scene. Again, a massive police presence. We're hearing a lot of information coming in, drips and drabs. At least 2 people, again, have been shot. This is out on 52nd and Park Avenue. Wondering if we can go to any of our reporters there on the scene and see if we can get a little bit more witness accounts. Okay, we don't have any reporters, but what we have been hearing is that it's been a very scary situation. Again, just to paint a picture of where this is. Yeah, this is Midtown Manhattan, a very busy area in terms of there's an MTA station, subway station right there, 53rd and Lexington. You have a number of corporate businesses there. This all unfolding in the middle of rush hour and people getting out of their offices. So let's get back to Kendall Green, who is on the scene. Kendall, looks like you've got a witness there.
Yeah, you were evacuated from the building right across the street. You were watching from a corner building when you saw everything unfolding. Talk to me about what happened, what you see.
Well, I work across the street here at 399 Park, which is 2 blocks away from where the shooting occurred, and it was pretty scary from a perspective of this is where we work every day, and there's an active shooter 2 blocks away. So yeah, it was pretty scary for a solid 30-40 minutes.
And the amount of businesses that are on this strip, how many different businesses are right there where you are?
There's hundreds of very high-end financial firms, hedge funds, law firms.
Okay. All right. Thank you, MCU fan, for the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate that. Let's see. I got that one, got that one, got that one. Dan says off topic. Oh yeah, I got that one. Lapco says breaking news in East Leeds, UK, a 82-year-old prisoner said something negative about migrants, and suspect spotted in their kitchen armed with toast and unlicensed butter knife. Police responding. John Murdoch says cough, diversity hire cough. Jared Armstrong says Lookner is all over this. Borg sister says they are used to scripted news. They don't know how to report anymore. let's see here. Craig Morning says the arrested woman was an activist and they were trying to protect her identity by removing her from the scene. Gerald Armstrong says it's probably an Aladdin. Josie says the shooter ended himself on the 33rd floor. The 33rd floor. 33 coincidence? Not. I swear they're not even trying to hide it anymore. NDI says 33rd floor wasn't an accident. It's a signal. Walker, Texas Ranger says, but NYC has some of the strictest gun laws. It's almost like it's a person's problem and not a gun problem. But they'll blame the evil gun anyway. Ryan Miller says, new trailer for Avatar Fire and Ash has been released. Check it out. I saw it when I went to see Fantastic Four. Solo Felix says, they'll vote Zohan, who will abolish the police. Exactly. MJ says, let's see. I'm not going to say that. NDI says, I can't believe another gun took a minority hostage again. These guns are out of control. Poor colored man. But for real, 33rd floor is a crazy coincidence.
Who, when we last checked in with her, she was being moved due to that active scene. So, Linda, any new updates of what you can share with us? I know you're with Matt Onimus right now, who, was walking by when he heard some of this scene unfold.
That's right. He actually shot some of the video that you guys have probably been showing on the air and also streaming. We are located right now. We're at Lexington and 50th, where this happened, and they pushed us back. Where this happened is one block that way, 51st, and about halfway up the block. And it was one of the side entrances to the building. Now, Matt, who works with us, we've worked with each other for more than 20 years.
Okay, well, that's why they're talking to him. So let's see. Bender Alyssa 199 says, hey, Jeremy, just wondering if Hulk Hogan's stream that got blocked, could you put on Rumble so people can still watch it? Hale 199 Trump 2028. I think I will just try to trim out all of the stuff that got hit. It's going to take it'll take a bit, but I'll just trim out the stuff that got hit and it can be put back up. I knew the WWE was going to hit me on that crap. Pisses me off. JRG Project says, any bets this is a copycat of the United States healthcare assailant? This will get far worse under Zohan. For all of their gun laws, it's security theater. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not like the whole situation is a joke in New York. And the fact that New York City, when I was growing up, New York City was thought of as like this grand place. If you look back on some of the videos of New York City and what it used to look like and what it used to be like, I think that they are trying to make an example of New York City. And look what we can do to the rest of your country. Grandis Potato says, Blackstone broke off of BlackRock. My spidey senses are tingling. How did he get that far into the building? Was he an asset that panicked and returned to base? Was he a distraction? Well, since I get paid by them, I can find out for you. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. Cocaine Bear says, today, Junior. Is that his car?
And then officers started flooding the area and then pushing people back.
Daisy says, y'all are sheep. Which one of us? Like, I need to know, like, because I'm a sheep for like a lot of things, but specifically, I need to know what I'm a sheep for, specifically what you're talking about. You've got to be more specific when you're calling people sheep. I need to know in specific to what. Am I a sheep for MAGA, Nintendo, Disney, Lucasfilm, YouTube? I mean, yeah, I just need specifics. Read my past comments and you'll see that's too much work. All right. Don't forget, I just visited Israel. So I visited Israel, had a great time. Me and Ben Shapiro hung out. I did not make fun of Ben Shapiro's height or his yarmulke. I did not. Okay. JRG Project says, now you know why Trump wants to reopen insane asylums for these unstable creeps, a disgruntled employee or a communist. The location is a giveaway. Phantasmus Knox says, guess it's the gun who took control of the man. Dirty Jersey says, I'll cover NYC and Jersey for you if you pay, but you better pay. And I'm talking Bitcoin, not Culver's or Sweeney clips. Lord Botha says, in the words of my boy Epic Mike, that's wild. Foom Off says, I'd like to throw my hat in the ring for Hazpay out of Chicago. I'll even work the airport. The Pullout Gaming says, YouTube won't let me type what I want to say, so I can say damn. Philip says, they brought out more cops than the end of Blues Brothers just for a guy to end himself. He probably thought he'd get up he'd get 70 virgins or something. We've heard that story before, haven't we? Bolt Runner says, CNN just called the shooter possibly white. No, they did not. Did they really? Somebody, I got to see if that clip is on Twitter or something like that. There's no way that they actually said possibly white. No. Internet's going crazy. Internet's going crazy right now. So, I'll see if I don't know if you're memeing or not, but honestly, I would believe it from CNN. Nas says, dude, you're just thrilled a woman is talking to him. JD Corey says, it would have been a good idea had the cops been there instead of Trump Tower. He walked with an open gun and nothing got it. Mod Eric says, the government Dems told me that would take out buildings and go away, maybe destroy a city block. With all your ads, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, Eric. I don't know what you're saying. So if you're just tuning in, we have a situation that happened in New York, and the internet is going crazy over it. At least 6 people have been shot, and the shooter has been found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound on the 33rd floor of the Blackstone building. These are the images of the weekend. I mean, the shooter that we have. Is there video? I'd be curious if there's video of it. And so we'll see what happens. So, but that's where we are. The more important story is that we have new merch. CobraCast Hulkamania edition right there. Okay. So we have the CobraCast Hulkamania edition t-shirts, hoodies, all of that. You can go check those out at our Teespring store if you're interested. And for those of you that are saying, Jeremy, stop grifting, I'll go back to this amazing reporter then. Okay. Does that make you happy? Does that make you happy? Oh, well, never mind. She's gone. Here, we'll just go back and hit pause. There. Okay. There. Just leave it there. Fuck it. I'll leave. Who cares, right? I'll probably make more money if I leave her on screen. All right. I mean, that'll probably work, right? Just leave her on screen. I'll make more money. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Philip Johnson. Oh, I got that one. Horny Alp says, I DM'd you the possibly white video. Noted. I will check this out. Laughing Man says, Jeremy finally grows his hair and gets called a sheep. I own CobraCast, according to Jeremy. Can I get a damn clip, Jeremy? Hail the snake, hail the 199 Snake Pit and IDOT. The IDOT, the damn clip. We haven't played that one in a while. Where is that one at? Here we go. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
It's gonna fall again. Damn! It's gonna fall again. Damn!
NYPD tells us that the scene has been contained and the shooter has been neutralized, but it is still a very active scene out there. A lot of police presence. A lot of the area has been shut down. We've got a number of reporters on the scene as well. Linda Schmidt, Kendall Green, who've been reporting and grabbing some witnesses to talk about what they're saying. One person telling us that they heard gunshots popping. They also saw that shooter walking into the building with an AR-15. This is a look from Skyfox right now, live over the scene. Officers look to be searching a vehicle. It's a very, very active scene. We're kind of getting all the details right now. Still a very large police presence.
All right, I got the clip from CNN, and thank you, Bolt Runner, over on Rumble. I see you dropped a link for it too. Here we go, right here.
Who he is?
They do not know who he is. They know he is a male, possibly white.
Of course, possibly white. Of course.
He is. They know he is a male, possibly white. He's wearing sunglasses. He appears to have a mustache. And that picture has been distributed to every police officer in New York City, particularly has been sent to the phones of the search teams inside that building, because whenever they encounter a group of people, the first thing they have to figure out is that individual among these people hiding among victims or pretending to be an office worker? Because one thing you don't want to have happen is to have this kind of cordon where you're trying to evacuate people in groups as you can get them to a safe corridor and have this person slip out with them. So yes, they have the picture and they have distributed to everybody on the scene.
Possibly white, according to CNN, of course. We do have breaking news that the NYPD officer that was shot has died. So NYPD officer has died after being shot by the gunman in Manhattan, per New York Post. There are at least 6 other victims in unknown conditions. Pray for the victims and the families. Absolutely horrible. Horrible. Mad Frog says possibly a Trump supporter. Yep. That's how they do it. That's how they always do it. Sean Austin says the bald guy is Tim Pool without a beanie. Jackson with the laughing emoji. Thank you. Okay. Well, I think we're going to call it there since all of this news is kind of like there's probably getting more to talk about. I might go live later tonight. I was supposed to do a 1-hour stream and then go live later tonight. So I might go live again later tonight as well. So we're going to end it right there. And again, CobraCast t-shirts, Hulk Hogan edition, limited at time. They'll be available. I believe that Beardo is live on Locals, Geeks and Gamers Locals, covering Monday Night Raw tonight. So we're going to end it there. I see a lot of you want me to play Mario Kart as well. We'll see. Taker says D-Day Cobra, possibly white, possibly white. But thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the chat being the MVP as always. And I really do appreciate it. So I hope you guys have a good evening and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.